Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Aaron, aka Poltergeist from Dragon's Creek Gaming. I'm here to tell you that you're listening to Sins and Consequences, Blades in the Dark actual play podcast. Hopefully you're not doing it by accident, but if you are, go back and listen to session 0. And you can hear our lovely voices as we build these characters and start the session. It's weird to start this far into a show. This is an episodic
Why are you doing
piece.
this?
So get out of here if this is your first episode, and come back after you've listened to the other episodes.
I think you should be able to give a detailed enough synopsis of what we've done in the next 2 minutes that gets everyone up to date, and you can start right now. This is the perfect episode.
An anime recap it all.
Either that or they're really into Naruto and they like flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the opposite and just go hard. I'm gonna obfuscate some information this session.
You'll never know what's happening.
All right, so let's give everybody a couple of minutes here to go back and listen to the other episodes. All right. Welcome back.
It's like I am the father for real. No.
Yes. But yeah, now that we're all back, we are playing Blades in the Dark, as I've already said. We are Dragon's Creek Gaming, as I've already said. Let's meet our players. We're gonna start top to bottom. We're gonna start with Ethan. Ethan, tell me about yourself. Tell me about Stuart Little. What do you know about him? What does he do?
For sure. So my name is Ethan. I'm going to be running Vey Helker. Vey is a spider, a devious mastermind who has to better learn how to come up with ideas and cunning in the immediate time instead of being saved by his friends or people that he's paying to help him out, which has been a lot of the action so far. Stuart Little is an interesting book that I've heard is a lot weirder in the actual book itself. I absolutely love that House is the dad in that movie, and I actually think that movie's got a lot of rewatchability just because of how weird it is, with how they paid little mice fake parents to go and steal a child mouse. Is probably just such a great narrative to put in a kids movie for children. I thought it was a great choice.
I have not seen the movie.
The live action?
Remember?
It's good.
Yeah. Dude, I just had my mind blown away. I didn't know that House was the fucking dad. Wait a minute, what the?
Hugh,
Oh, that's
Laurie.
what you meant. Oh.
See,
Now
when you say House, I think Fallout New Vegas because I'm a nerd. I never saw the movie. I remember vaguely the story, but
You should watch it.
I mean, if it's
all right, guys, we're gonna pause for a couple of minutes while Adam watches Stuart Little.
And the second one, I think, on DVD. So they made a sequel. Where he
They
gets a
did make a
bird
sequel.
girlfriend.
Yeah, didn't he fly an airplane? He
Look,
flew a
isn't he a
miniature
mouse?
From the
airplane.
book.
Yeah.
Isn't he a mouse?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, so I'm going to talk about that when I introduce myself. I have opinions
We'll
about
get-
Stuart
Oh,
Little.
okay.
I will just tell you exactly what Stuart Little is,
Oh.
because he's not technically a mouse.
Do you like a vole?
Okay, Ethan, anything exciting this week you want to talk about before I move past?
No, I'm pretty happy with that whole Stuart Little kind of reference. We're good to leave
Nice.
it there and shift over to our next character, I think.
All right, and then next we have the indomitable, the unstoppable force known as CJ DeBono. Tell us about your week. Tell us about Stuart Little too. I don't know what happens in it. I've never seen it.
Okay,
Deal,
well,
get ready for Stuart Little 3.
Oh, fuck.
Wait, no, don't tell me that's real. I believe it. Hi, I'm CJ. I play Myri Skelkalan. She is a leech with a bit of knowledge of the arcane and ghostliness, involving either blowing them up and making them appear, or shoving them out of doors and getting decapitated. What do I know about Stuart Little? I always remember the boat scene where he's not driving the RC, but he's in the RC boat, and they're driving on the lake or whatever. And there's that big race, whatever. That's what my main memory. And then you remind me, there was that whole thing where they have the cats are have this mafia-esque deal with these mice parents. No, we were your real parents all along, but it was a plan to get rid of you because the cats are that invested in their lives, I guess.
He cruised that boat, though. You take away that credit. That was
Yeah.
all Stuart.
It was a weird loan shark cat mafia subplot. Like that was like
What have I missed out on? What the hell is going on?
Oh, dude, it's phenomenal.
yeah, no, it's a good movie. Adam, you're missing.
All right.
out.
The second
You
was
can
so
watch
weird.
it on Dragon's Creek Game.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
dude.
gonna
Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna defend my childhood though. The second one is a little weird. The whole bird
Yeah.
stuff.
Can I go
The
next?
bird was being extorted.
Yes,
by a
actually.
hawk.
Oh yeah, that happened.
Okay, and next we have Adam, GM extraordinaire, player extraordinaire. I don't have two adjectives for you, Adam. You're just extraordinaire.
I love it. I'll take it.
But you can tell me about your characters, and you can tell me what you think Stuart Little is.
All right, so
Because you haven't seen the film.
I haven't seen the film, but I am currently reading about, check this out, Stuart Little 3, Call of the Wild. The third one in the series, released in 2006 in America. It's an animated adventure comedy film directed by Audu Padden. There you go.
I can't believe you
here's
had
a
to
fun
search
fact.
to know
Here's
that
a
it
fun
was
fact.
about
Michael
camping.
J. Fox, Michael J. Fox voiced Stuart Little, who is apparently a young anthropomorphic mouse adopted as part of the Little family. It's not, his name's not, well, his name is Little. He's not called Stuart Little because he's little. That's just his last name. I learned that today. That's it. So let's see. I'm gonna be playing. I would say probably Ludes today. There might be some Jacob Bridgewater. We'll see. But I think Ludes is probably back in the saddle. Ludes is a weirdo. There you go. And Jacob Bridgewater is he's a Leviathan hunter by trade, but he's currently on extended shore leave on his own accord due to his hallucinations or visions, depending on who you ask. He's an interesting fellow. Ludes is a weirdo. That's it. That's all you get for him. Let's see. This past week, I've been I worked. I got some time to run the CNC at work, which means that I had enough time to start watching Fallout because I can watch some TV and some movies and shit while I'm running the CNC because that's an easy job. It's an easy job. Let me tell you, easy job. Pays good. Benefits are great. Work is easy. But I got the bad news. I got the bad news yesterday that we're going back to overtime. Womp womp. But that's okay. You know, I could do a little overtime. They're talking about doing 10-hour shifts for probably the next 3 or 4 weeks, which is, you know, that's fine. That's money in the bank. The shop I was at before, it was 10-hour days, 5 days a week, every week, and then like a solid 8 hours on Saturday, and then if it was August, there was another 6 hours on Sunday. So, you know, that for a couple of years, that was my gig. And I'm happy to be working a measly 50 hours. I can do that standing on my head, especially if they have me on the CNC. Let me tell you, I'm going to run out of movies to watch. But let's see, what else? I've been playing Dragon's Dogma 2, which some people were complaining about on the internet because they're idiots. The game is awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's great. That's it. That's all I got to say. It's great. It's fun.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
I've heard good things. I want to play it, but I don't know. I just bought Moving Out 2 instead, which is a $20 Switch game, and I love it.
That music comes for me again. Every time that hits, it scares the shit out of me. But yeah. So the music kicked in. It's like kapow! But
Like-
yeah, so. That's what I've been up to, and my daughter is visiting Granny this weekend, so I got the opportunity to sleep in this morning before going to help Chris, the great unclean one, move. He's moving from far away to other far away, so that's cool. And he had a couple of dressers and couches and stuff, and 3 flights of stairs, baby. I'm feeling great.
Oh yeah.
I hope he paid you with pizza and beer.
I got 2 Powerades.
That's even better, dude. Take that to the bank.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to the toilet. I got pee.
Speaking of going to the bank,
Dude,
Dio.
I fucking love it.
Dio is an aristocrat He is a very fancy man. He probably eats scones. And he's an awesome player. I really like it. I'm enjoying getting to know you better, Dio. I just want to say that. From one man to another, I'm in love with you.
Oh, I appreciate it. I get that one a lot.
Look, I don't want to make this
Guys,
weird,
you
but I'm
can't
in love
see
with
Dio, but Dio is yeah. Don't want to make it weird at all, but Dio, you're the most handsome man I've ever seen.
you. Dio's a handsome dude. Those of you listening, I mean, not only does
Yeah,
he's a
actually
handsome
is.
fella. He's a handsome fella. Suave.
You know what? We're all handsome.
Thank
fellas,
you.
Except for
No, I'll take it.
CJ. She's a handsome woman. But
When Dio's hair is like done, dude, he's a solid 7.
tight. You know what? We play TTRPGs. That's asking a lot. Getting to a 7, you're doing well. Anyways, Dio, tell me about your character. Tell me about your life, and talk about the movie Fight Club.
Fight Club, oh shit.
I just gotta throw that out at you.
So, funny enough, so I'm okay. To start, I'm Dio. I'm playing Albatross, and now to get back to Fight Club, I actually watched that movie in high school. I was in a films class, and they made it. It was the second time I watched it, and we were dissecting movies about like how and what their messages are supposed to be. And the first time I watched it, I didn't know that because I forgot the names of all the characters. That Brad Pitt's character and the other the protagonist were the same person. I never got that the first time I watched it, but also I was still a teenager that didn't understand context clues or anything for movies at all. So when I watched it in films class, that blew my mind. I was like, wait a minute, they're the same fucking person? Also,
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah. And that's a movie that gets better on rewatches because you know that fact. Spoiler for a movie that came out before you were born.
Oh man.
Also,
It'll be true for at least one listener.
but I'll leave it at that because we can't talk about Fight Club.
It's
That's
too
true.
late.
There's 2 rules about it. But yeah, no, and that's our cast for today, guys. I'm excited to play with them. As I said before, my name is Aaron, also known as Poultrygeist. I am the GM for this game, and that's my role. Now, I just have some Stuart Little's facts I need to spit.
I've been waiting for this.
So from the books, which I did read. I read back when I was a kid, and I've read them actually a couple times because it's just come up where I've had to read it more than once. In Stuart Little, Stuart Little canonically is not a mouse because he has 2 human parents.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, both of his parents are humans, like his biological.
What?
Yeah.
How does that work?
And then they abandoned him for being a mouse, which is why he was at the orphanage.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
And he was adopted by 2 other human parents. But like realistically, like what they brought home with them is an abomination in the affront to our Lord.
Dude, what? Dude,
And
honestly,
then in the
like,
book,
I would panic. I would panic.
I mean,
also
I
finds
can't blame them.
Another like abomination that was born of 2 human parents that is a bird.
Wait, she was.
And
What the
yes,
fuck is
yeah,
this?
she was exactly the same as him. They bonded over their abominationness.
Their
I
abominability.
did not know that the bird was also
Oh
Yeah,
my
they-
god.
they- yeah. Yes, and so and then they proceeded to lie together. And that's
Dude, honestly, when you get right down to it, it's just 2 people, right? If they're both humans. I mean,
would
that
the
happens.
son
There's nothing wrong
be
with
a?
it's just 2 very ugly and tiny people.
Would
When
the
a papa
children
mouse
be
and a
bats?
mama bird love each other
2
very,
tiny
very much.
uggos getting down. It's beautiful. You know, when 2
Like
ugly
links.
people fall in love, that's just love. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Can splice their DNA and
It
give
is.
these traits to
It is.
actual normal humans.
Okay,
So-
so let's
And
get
with that
let's get right
being
down to it.
said-
If my wife and I shared a tender moment, made some love, beautiful love making, and she got preggo, and then like we went through the whole thing, and she was pregnant. You know, like the whole, I don't know how long a baby takes to cook. I don't know, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months, whatever it is.
Wait,
And then
she,
at the
You
Wait,
have a kid.
Yeah, I
Also,
do.
How do you
I
not
don't.
know
I
this?
don't understand
No,
time.
no, no. But like, did she not know
Hold
she was
on.
pregnant? Because she's birthing a mouse, and that's tiny, so she wouldn't get very pregnant.
Hear me
visibly.
out. Hear me out. Let me finish.
No.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So she's pregnant. And she carries the baby to term, and then we go to the hospital and we do the whole thing. And they're like, "Do you want the epidural?" And my wife, I don't know if you guys have met her. She's a fucking warrior, right? She had a kid, and they're like, "Do you want the epidural?" And she said no. And they're like, "Do you want some other kind of drugs?" And she said no. She gave birth straight up with nothing. Nothing. And
So
here's the deal.
human, right?
When while it was happening, she goes, "Ow, ow, ow," like a fucking cartoon. She's a badass. She's a total badass. But anyhow, if she was there and she's going through the whole process and she's giving birth, and then like I'm there with her, because I'm obviously I'm gonna be there. You know, I'm a fucking man, and like I'm holding her hand, and you know we're going through this together. She's doing most of the work. You know, I'm just there for moral support. And then out pops a mouse. Yeah, dude, I'm abandoning the fuck out of that mouse. Not only that, but like I'm gonna go into like Batman mode and figure out what mouse banged my wife.
That's what I was gonna ask. I'm like, do you assume that your wife had an affair with a mouse?
That's
It was Master Splinter.
like how else could that happen? It's not like
I
would
put
be
something in
I'm
the
like,
water, man.
right?
Wait,
Like
does that mean that Stuart Little and the bird are like sterile, like mules?
they have to be. They have to be. They're genetic mutations. They're freaks. They're like they gotta be. They gotta be.
Well, I mean, I think the real thing is they just could not have children because even if they weren't, then like a bird can't give birth to a person.
Guaranteed. The mouse and the bird have sex. She gets pregnant, gives birth to a human child.
They do.
Does she
A
lay an
tiny
egg though?
child.
Does the human come out? Does the tiny human
Oh my
child come out
God.
of an egg, or is it like a live birth?
Well, it's so the bird lays an egg, and then the mouse has to fertilize it.
That's not how that
Uh,
works, but okay.
I don't know.
Like a
I'm not like a
fish.
bird scientist. What are they called? Birdologists? I don't know. I'm not that. I don't know. He fertilizes the egg with his mouse seed, and then it hatches, and it's a kid. And the kid, check this out, human kid with a rat tail, not like coming off his butt, but like a rat tail hairstyle.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
my fan fiction
And,
that I just wrote.
I'm gonna make a TTRPG that is the Stuart Little universe where you can make your own
Oh my God.
abomination.
Dude.
It
All
better
of this
have a
happened.
quest where we could drive the RC boat.
I was
please.
gonna say like that's all leading
Well,
up to.
actually, in the books and in the second film, they drive a plane because the bird can't fly, but she can fly a plane.
I have so many questions about all this. Have you guys ever read? Okay, so there's a
Yes.
fantastic book series called The Mouse and the
Wait.
Motorcycle. Is this the same thing?
No.
Okay,
I
because the
don't
mouse
think
goes to
so at
camp
all.
in one of them.
Well, damn.
Yeah, on his motorcycle. He's like, I gotta live my life. And he like runs away from the hotel on his motorcycle and ends up at camp. Almost gets eaten by a cat.
Oh, that's
Tragic. Yeah,
rad.
dude, it was.
All
What are we
right.
doing?
And
What are we
now,
doing here
with
tonight?
all of the Stuart Little tech, yes, what are we doing? With all that Stuart Little talk out of the way, this isn't a Stuart Little podcast. This is a Blades in the Dark actual play podcast. And so we're going to actually play.
All right, sounds good. I think we've been here for half an hour. None of this better get
All
cut.
right, guys. Some of it, maybe. We'll
None of
see. But yeah, no.
People need to know.
Yeah, we find ourselves and last session there, guys. I'm not going to recap from the very beginning. I'm going to recap last session though. Last session, guys, we had the return of Ludes, who came back with bruised ribs, a new set of teeth, and a fancy anklet that
Oh,
he
yeah.
can't seem to take off.
He doesn't want to
Um,
anyway.
Yeah, you guys had made some sort of deal with the Weeping Ladies where you returned the spirit, the captured spirit of the body, and kept the head for yourselves as collateral to receive continued funds from this church, basically holding their deity hostage in exchange for money. We got to see a little bit of Myri's backstory. She had a lovely moment with her father, a bonding moment.
You do remember these days.
To
for the
put
rest
it
of your life.
lightly.
It's the days.
Yeah, it's funny how in hindsight, things are always just a little bit more rose-colored.
It was better than what it was. It was much worse. That's the filtered version that your brain makes okay for you to remember. Oof.
Vey, in an attempt to lower some of the heat that's coming on you guys, met up with Salia, the information broker, and his best friend. I could sense the sexual tension from here.
I could smell it from here.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Don't flirt with her because I don't want to flirt with you.
Yeah, we're just friends. That doesn't feel comfortable at this point.
Stormy was at the Chellish Devil, a tavern down at the docks, which is a wrecked ship that crashed into the side of the stone docks, and they just left it there and turned it into a bar.
So cool.
You hung out with Flint. You got to catch up with Bear. You learned a little bit about stuff going in and on out of Ironhook. You learned about the Deathland Scavengers, which are recruiting currently. And in this week's newspaper, you saw that the Deathland Scavengers have been given a contract to reclaim the Lost District. You can learn a little bit more about that in a bit here, guys. Vey, you met Lord Skurlock, and oddly enough, you did not threaten him with the name of a demon, even though you were explicitly asked to. And so we'll see what happens.
I was just so hesitant about it. I feel like you mentioned talking about a demon brings it up again, and so I actually wanted to, like, low-key on the side have a chat with you to be like, lore-wise, what am I doing if I talk about the demon to him, and, like, is that going to just make him absolutely hate me?
I don't think Vey knows the answer to that, and so you don't.
Okay, so then we'll learn together.
Oh, no.
Experiment and find out.
Or be cursed.
Fuck around and find out, Ethan. I highly encourage you. Normally it's a threat. Today it's a suggestion. But yes, Myri did some studying. She learned a little bit about pre-cataclysm cults and what they people who actually saw the sun before the cataclysm and the religions that they started, and learned a little bit about artificial suns as well. Albatross tried his damnedest to lower his stress, and he succeeded in that his stress is lower, but he had a hell of a time, and he failed at the hunt, this mysterious hunt. You, at the very end of the session there, Myri, I believe, you overindulged on your vice and you attracted the unquiet dead in the form of Elise and now become haunted.
Oops.
And over the next few days, you find that just the amount of mishaps around you increase significantly. You're trying to drink your tea and the saucer just falls onto the floor and breaks. All on its own, but it all seems like it could have been an accident. Team discussing next door, and yes, that's where we left you guys. We were discussing what our next score is. Before we do, Vey.
Yes.
The night after you meet Lord Skurlock, where do you sleep?
Vey would be.
And what are you wearing?
Yeah. He's very well dressed. He's got multiple layers. That's how Vey sleeps.
To bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe suit to bed.
3 petticoats.
Exactly.
Nice for the Sandman.
I think Vey is sleeping in the quarters of the university, that area, with all hitched up with beds.
Yeah. So you got yourself a little bed, and maybe you've pulled it away from some of the others to give yourself a bit of privacy. Built a wall of books around your bed, so you can do whatever you do in peace. And you're sleeping soundly. Do you think you were dreaming about anything? Is Vey a big dreamer?
I think Vey would be thinking of previous work and those things, and so I think he'd be just in working on the books and just kind of like writing down and doing times and that stuff, and paper coming in and paper coming out.
In his dreams?
Yeah. Not very fun dreams.
Oh my god, do you ever get a dream? Yeah, like you have one of those dreams where it feels like you were at work the
exactly.
whole time?
Yeah.
It's the absolute worst.
But don't worry, because tonight you start to have that dream, and you're kind of getting into the swing of the paperwork, and oddly enough, that seems to satisfy you. But you are the dream kind of shifts, it changes, it grows darker, and you open your eyes, and it's one of those moments where you're like, am I still dreaming? Am I awake? And you try to move and you can't. And you're just kind of locked in place with your eyes open, staring straight at the ceiling, and you can just feel the weight of someone on your legs, and like a hand moving up your torso and gripping your shoulder. And you don't move, but the figure on top of you does, and you realize that it's Sarant or Satara. One of those ones. It's the demon.
The demon with the handprint. Yeah.
Yes. And she's holding onto your arm. She's like straddling your waist, and you feel like that mark that you had around your neck start to burn. And you awake again with a start. And you look, and you have a burn around your neck. Like it's already healed, but you have like the scar of a burn.
Yeah.
Around your neck.
Fair enough. Well, not going back to sleep after that one. They would definitely kind of get up and start leaving the corners and pacing a bunch, I would say, just trying to figure out the next steps here. As we said, I don't really know how to proceed forward, so neither does Vay. So we're just going to continue to sit on this and maybe make it worse before we make it a little better. One of those.
Yeah.
Oh well, I will give you there's no mechanical way to deal with this, Ethan. When you feel it's appropriate, tell me you would like to do something about it, and we'll figure it out. Okay?
No, that is fair.
But there's no like dice to roll to make demons go.
I wasn't sure
You're
if
gonna
you
have
were
to.
going to go, okay, no information, but just so you know, there's a clock and it has one tick on it. Like,
Oh, do you want to know about the clock?
Oh.
Oh.
I don't think I do want to know about the clock. Nate. Let's keep that one
You know
a
what?
mystery.
No.
You're a minute to midnight, buddy.
Yes. And so the four of you, well, the five of you actually, and Danny Deravizzo, you find over the next few days that you have at least once it's probably about like twice a week, a couple of the whalers from the Church of the Weeping Lady have come by. They leave like an offering, like in like a wooden bowl. It's full of coin, a part of their tithes. And so you guys all gain 2 stash.
Nice.
I
And that includes Ludes and Jacob.
Nice. Where do
I
put
love
that?
that we just did really bad things to really good people. It is really paying off.
It really is. Oh, there it is.
Yes. And so mechanically what that is, guys, whenever you guys advance, like fill up the XP on your crew sheet, you gain tier plus 2 stash. Which is money, but it's money for your character. It's not money for the crew. It doesn't count as a coin. And so if you go to your character sheet and you click the coin thing, you should see there's 4 slots for coin, and then there's a bunch for stash. Just fill in 2 on the top row, and just to make sure that you have that. When you this will contribute towards your lifestyle. You can also pull out of your stash at a rate of 2 stash per 1 coin. So if you ever find you're in a pinch for coin, you can start looting your stash.
So like Ludes can like prize gold tea that and sell them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, and that was exactly what I was thinking that was.
Nice.
So
Yes.
I noticed different characters have like number out of 10 or number out of 8 or number out of 2. Like, is the window slightly different for other people, or is that number something else?
So if you're looking at the coins, the 0 is how many coins you have, and then the slash, and then the others, the second number is your stash.
Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. That's all good.
Coins
Never
what
mind.
you're walking around with. Stash is the retirement fund.
Yes. All right.
Coin is your money in the
And
streets. Stash is the money you got on the sheets.
That's right. And so stash is an abstraction of stuff and assets that you've bought. So like your access to petty cash and just general lifestyle. So like get enough stash and you maybe own a house
Voice.
or like a small business or something. Like, you know, like it can be that, it can be like Lutz did with his gold teeth and his anklet. All that stuff. It just is whatever you need it to be, but it's not accessible cash for the purposes of coin, and that's why there's a cost of 2 stash per 1 coin. That being said, guys, where do we think we want to go? Like in general, let's step back from the beat to beat moment. We're looking at performing another score. What motivates you to do a score?
Oh man. Well, I can tell you, Jacob is trying to find the meaning of these visions. That's his motivation. Like that's easy. Like he'll pursue that. Anything that seems like it's right for that. Lutz is man. He, for what you know, he likes the action. He's got kind of a death wish. I don't know if that's really been made apparent yet, but he's also afraid to die. So like, he's kind of torn. So he wants to get into the action, but he's a coward. It's kind of weird. But he also would love to have people do things for him so that he can relax and be comfortable and really high.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, there's a few ways we can go about that, but I want to hear from the other people. What are your character's aspirations? You as a player, do you want to do something here, guys? This is our moment to really shape what happens. You guys are on the precipice of upgrading in tier. You have options laid out by other NPCs. You have the ability to explore this fine city and listen to my cat. Sorry, guys.
Your cat's back at it again.
Yep, my cat. You guys, if you listen to the worst of us over on Patreon, you get to hear my cat there too. And that's wonderful.
They're giving important context. So what's next? You guys had to listen.
Hey guys, I got to deal with this cat, and I have to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes here to talk it out amongst yourselves.
We'll deliberate, and you can handle the weeping lady.
And then sum it up for me when I get back.
The weeping lady, love it.
It's like, oh, they're in the background. Yeah, I mean, I think sort of what, like, you know, when we last kicked off, I was talking a bit about like the Railjacks and doing that type of faction stuff. But like, if we want to just dive in and go, yeah, like, let's start figuring out the artifacts and what story that opens up. I'm also like, I don't know, some way to kind of figure out God's attention and like that type of stuff. I think also would be cool to figure out more of that sun narrative.
Yeah,
Yeah, the sun stuff is like what I'd probably want to go for more. Like the sun or relic, I'd be fine doing either or, because like I don't know if we're gonna like immediately be able to pull off like stealing the relic. Cause like if we go for a relic, it's gonna be the Outlander one, and I think that's more reasonable to get if the heist is for that. Otherwise, I was all down for doing, because I did all that research about the fake suns, and then so there's either we can do something with that or just, I think Adam, you mentioned wanting to go back down into the sewers. So if we do that, just try to get more about the sun. Learn about the sun. That's what I'm down for. Like I get that the Railjacks are important to Vey, but like as a whole.
Oh, exactly.
Like I understand you want to do that. Like but sorry.
The sun is more important. Man, now Albatross is definitely enticed by this, and thinking about it too, like uh, just because of the way I had entered it, he just kind of came out of nowhere. He's just kind of hanging around. I was like, what the fuck? Listening to everybody and just being like, hey, how's it going, guys?
So we saw the sun. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like, he said, you've piqued my interest.
Whose son? No, the son.
Like Batman in the dark, just coming out of nowhere. It's like, where's the sun? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know if we want to like maybe the idea for what we do is kind of the like let's go to the sewers and one, get more information on the sun thing, and then also at the same time see if we can't pick out information that might help us as far as like the artifacts and like that next stuff,
Sure.
right? If that is like the next.
Yeah, if there's any information about these artifacts down in the sewers, let's get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like it might be the sewers. I don't know where. Like, who is it? It's the Deathland Scavengers, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I think they were in the paper. Did anyone?
Yeah, they were in the
does anyone
paper.
have the papers up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
was
were in
looking
the
at
paper.
that.
They were down by the prison.
That's right.
Which
Dunslow?
apparently the
Scavengers
fucking-
moved
the
into
leader of
Lost
the Billhooks
District.
is looking to get into politics from inside the prison.
Yeah,
He took
ask him
over.
those. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could
Is
run for
that-
the president,
Yes,
if you could run for president in jail, why can't they do it
Yeah,
from jail
that's
as well?
my question. Is
Yeah.
like, is that a shot at us Americans with our current situation? that we're in?
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, my cat.
The cat's running for president. I'll
Give me a second.
vote for the cat.
Oh,
At this point.
Mr. Mittens for president.
Yeah.
What would his policy be?
Lower
Yeah.
the tax on tuna.
Hell yeah.
Daily exercise at 3 a.m. All the good things.
Full food bowls for everyone.
And scratching posts in every
Tell you
corner.
what, the pest control is gonna get real good.
All the couch you can scratch.
The birds, on the other
There
hand,
we go, guys.
not so well.
I'm back. I have my cat with me against his will. I'm just gonna hold him till he
He looked like Mufasa hanging out for the side of the rock.
Hey, speaking
is
of
the cat.
things being against people's will, Will Wheaton responded to my email.
Oh
and
my god.
Yeah, I sent him an email and it was like, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? And he said no. But he sent an email back to say no. He didn't just
That's
ignore me like
cool.
some fucking people.
Like most people on the internet.
Like
That's nice.
Ariana Grande said she wouldn't be on the show
Was
either.
it?
But she didn't respond. She just sent a cease and desist.
Oh shit.
Still waiting to hear back from a couple of other people. So, Brian Posehn, check your email. Or
Yeah.
whatever. And, Donnie, baby. I've been calling. I don't know if it's actually your phone number or somebody else, but that website that I gave $50 to said it was your phone number. It said it was your email. And I'm sending them.
Good.
Let me know. Come on.
And let's hope it's not the
Donnie,
Ninja
yeah.
Turtle.
All right, guys.
What?
We had a couple minutes there. What did we talk about? What part of the world should I be prepared to describe?
Sewers.
You want to know about
We're
the
going
sewers?
full TMNT 2.
Want to get more about that vision from the sun? We're gonna go that direction.
And then possibly any
Okay.
intel about Deathland Scavengers while we're in there to kind of
Yeah,
so
to
it's,
try to slowly connect back to the relics.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll start with our vision, with the thing. How do you guys want to go about learning more about this vision? Like, and this is free play, but I just kind of want to know what to describe to you guys. Are you guys going back to the canals?
Uh,
And if so, who's going?
I think Ludes would probably look into that if nobody else wants to go.
like they would tag along. There's a
Okay.
wanting to re-understand what's going on there.
I
Yeah,
think
CJ
I
Albatross.
think Myri would. I don't
Okay.
know, yeah, I don't know about Albatross, but I think the people who were originally there would all want to
Okay.
go back.
Given the information, like Albatross would be listening in, he'd be scouting, staying in the shadows, just trying to gather information as to what this ragtag of what he sees as crazy but efficient individuals are trying to acquire, and then he hears information about the sun, and having found one and these artifacts. So, having dropped by just unannounced, he would offer a deal. He would give his services not not even at a reduced price, but just for both interests. Basically, you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and
Yeah. And so yeah, absolutely. The four of you managed to secure a gondola. It's a pretty shoddy one. Not nearly as nice as the elegant gondoliers craft, their watercraft. But you find like kind of like a hand carved canoe. Mind you, it's made out of petrified bark, so it's sturdy.
Nice.
It's sturdy, but it's light. Yeah, you try your best to navigate the canals underneath. One thing you know is that while it's not illegal or anything to go into the canals underneath the city, that it's generally ill-advised, and that rescue is not possible if something were to happen to you.
I'm not.
Come up a little.
that being-
Is this the type of thing that it would be best? And is it a known thing to like you should take a guide when like going through and doing this type of excursion, or is quiet and solo better?
So there are people that will guide people through the canals. The gondoliers apparently have their headquarters somewhere underneath the city in these canals.
Oh,
But
those guys.
yeah, that's a couple things you would just know. Like, it's one of those things where the canals, a lot of times they stink. There's not a lot of reason to go down there, but you guys have a reason, and I think that you would not be able to secure a guide for this because they don't know where you're trying to go.
Yeah,
It was only the three of you that made that trip the first time.
I realized after asking, it's like this is probably more of like someone tuning or figuring that stuff out for looking for spiritual.
Yeah, and so I do want someone to give me a roll, an action roll, to see if you guys find the same location.
Yeah, man, I can attempt that. I've got the option to do my study, or no, survey maybe. No, attune. I feel like attune. I feel like I've maybe I could be totally wrong, but I feel like maybe this sun thing we saw, maybe it's from the other side, you know, and maybe there's some sort of tenuous astral leavings that I could follow.
Sun drops.
Absolutely. So go ahead and give me that attune roll.
Okay.
Now, you guys are able to do any of your special abilities in free play. That's not just a score thing. You can push yourself. You can do all that stuff here as well. Obviously, it may not be what you want to do, but I just want to make it very clear that even in free play, consequences can still apply. They're generally less dire, but they can still apply. And so this is controlled for a standard effect.
Rad, I love it. Let's go. I've got
Oh.
total failure.
Failure. And okay, so but you can resist one of these two consequences I'm going to put
Oh
in.
boy.
One of them is that you do not make it to where you're intending. The second is that you will find yourself in a situation that is risky.
Okay, so if I roll my lowest thing to resist?
So
or...
if you would like to.
Yeah, I'm gonna resist the first thing.
If you would like
I'll
to
take
resist.
the second thing.
You would resist with your resolve.
Okay,
No.
which is my lowest thing. So,
Ooh.
Suffer 4 stress.
I love how the dice rolls like success, suffer 4 stress. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's,
We had different
doesn't feel
definitions of
great.
success.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the cost of 4 stress, you guys, the currents, you have to work very hard against the currents. But like Jacob's standing maybe at the front of this
Oh, he wouldn't go with.
this shoddy.
But this is Ludes.
Oh, okay, because you roll for Jacob.
Oh, why is
Yeah.
it? Oh, you know what? No,
Yeah.
I did. I rolled off of the right character sheet. It's just my thing says Jacob. I got to switch my user.
Oh,
feature.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
No worries. I just wanted to make sure, like, but yeah, so Ludes is kind of maybe standing at the front of this boat, mumbling to himself, and he's kind of phasing in and out of the ghost field. I assume that's kind of how you're attuning, is like you're doing that like breath thing, and so you're holding your breath, and then you're warbling in and out of here in the ghost field, and you can see these paths that lead to different things, and they're different colors. You don't recognize at first which way you're supposed to go, and so you end up taking a long way around, and in the process, you do come across a group of hollows
Oh,
underneath the city. They're clinging to the ceiling,
Oh
what
no.
the fuck?
and one of them drops into the boat with you. It's sluggish. It's human sized, like it's just a regular human. But this hollow, like it's like what you might imagine a golem is like. It doesn't have a face,
Oh.
What?
but it's made out of flesh.
Ugh.
And it very slowly and clumsily tries to stand up into the boat. And so we need someone to deal with this because there's a hollow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Albatross's claw immediately retracts out and digs into it.
Oh.
Okay. So you attack the hollow. Make your action roll.
What does it have instead of a face? Is it just like the back of a head on the
It's
front?
just blank.
So it'd be a skirmish. Would
Yeah.
it be risky or controlled?
This is risky because you're in a risky position. Risky for standard effect.
Alright.
This is not a.
Before you roll, is like, I don't know. To me, I'm wondering, is this something where you only have one? Yeah,
Absolutely, you could
cool.
assist.
I would like to assist. And so they would. I'd love to use foresight in order to have brought a. I don't know if there's like a type of blanket that I can have that has some amount of like ecto protection or something to like. I want to drape it over top of him before the grab thing happens to help kind of fumble him off the ship or the gondolier.
You're trying to party
Okay.
blanket this thing?
Like those.
So
And
I
toss
will
a
say
blanket
that
over it and like hug it while other people punch it.
I
I think
know,
like those like
I'll
parachute
let
things
you-
when you're like in elementary school, just
Oh,
whoosh.
I love that.
nice. Yeah, Ethan.
Could
The
use
only
it
thing I'll
to,
say
like,
is
rat
it's
tail.
probably not an electroplasmic blanket because that itself would be like a pretty powerful item.
Okay.
But
All right. I gotta like phase it down a little.
but you maybe you were like, there's rumor, like maybe you did some studying, you talked to some people before you went into the canals, and people have been seeing these things and you kind of knew to prepare it, but you bring, like, it's kind of like what you described, like a blanket with these straps, and you kind of know that you can like wrap them and like pull it and throw it over to like help Dio deal with this, or Albatross, because Dio is not hurting this thing. Is that is that okay for the description? there?
100%. Yeah. Like I'm like fire
Okay.
blanket, and it's like, well, here's the ecto blanket.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. You brought a fire blanket with you, like just because electroplasmic blankets would actually be very powerful. You could like just kill
Like
ghosts.
I pull out an invisibility cloak. You can't do that. That's too powerful.
I've got one of those on my.
I've got
character
my
sheet.
I win the game button in here. I always been working
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
there are yeah. But yes. So yeah. Dio, you this thing is laying down. Ethan puts like a weighted like a fire blanket on top of it, and it's like kind of holding it while you lash out at it. Make your roll with one additional die.
Okay. Ooh,
Oh.
Ooh,
failure.
you fail.
You only had one die? What were you using?
I had 2 dice.
Skirmish. You had 2 dice in the
Oh,
pool?
I
or
had
did you
the
give
one
yourself
die,
two?
1 plus 1, and then I had the 1 for skirmish.
And then, okay, perfect. I just want to make sure you got your one. You said for a harm, complication occurs and in a desperate position, you lose this opportunity. I'm gonna say that Vey, you have this thing pinned down at first, but the arm just kind of comes swinging up, and it claws across Albatross's chest.
Okay.
That is a level 1 harm called Scratched.
Ooh.
Now you can resist that consequence, Dio. I know that you're not like doing too hot on stress. You can also use armor. Like if you thought to wear armor,
I did this time.
because you didn't use it in the last.
So this time, he is wearing a basically almost like a plate, like little, like it's almost like a suit, but it has plates within it, and you can see some of the plates kind of sticking out of the dressing itself. And as he's getting scratched in the chest, it's now exposed, which only angers Albatross more because his really fine suit is now damaged.
All right. And the currents change underneath you guys. You Ludes, you can sense that you're moving in the right direction. Like the currents, you managed to hit this frequency where you can almost like feel like you're speaking to them,
Ooh.
and they're speaking back in like thoughts. Like it's very quick. And all of a sudden, like you are following the right path, and so you guys are there. There's this hollow still on the boat, but the boat's moving towards it, and you're starting to recognize some of the graffiti and the symbols that have been carved into the stone around the canals. You're almost there,
Ooh.
but we still have a hollow on the boat, and it's trying to stand.
Oh boy.
And it's risking to tip over the boat.
I want to try something. I want to try to tabletop the thing. That's my goal. So Ludes is gonna skitter around and get on his hands and knees behind this thing. So he's like at like its knee height. He's gonna be like, give him a push, send him over the side. So I'm gonna do finesse to get into position.
Okay. And I will say that somebody should assist in this case. So it would be at a cost of 1 stress.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Albert, or
Yeah.
Myri, do you want to?
So Vey, you
So I get one die bonus.
well, you're gonna get a +1
Okay.
die. I think narratively, like someone has to assist somebody.
So I got
Because
risky
it's a two-person.
standard.
Yes, yeah, risky for standard effect.
Here we go.
Hey.
X! Yay!
Nice.
Fuck him.
All right. And so, who actually pushes them? Was it Vey
Yeah.
or was it mine?
I mean, I don't have any stress right now. If you want me to, I don't know how much you got.
Ethan also.
Yeah, I'm also
Okay.
clear, but
Whichever.
narratively, why don't we say it's Myri? You know, we
Okay.
have the whole rotation.
There you go.
Yeah,
Everybody
there we
did
go.
something.
Yeah.
I push.
It's a team effort.
I wrecked
And
his shit.
so yeah,
Oh, hello, cat. Under my foot.
yeah. He flips over and he sinks like a stone.
What's the water? Is
Into the
is the
water.
water the starry blackness, or is that just the ocean?
It is.
It is just the ocean, or
It
it is
is
the
here.
starry blackness
It is ocean water.
in the sewer?
And so the water is black. Like, so if you were to pick it up in your hand, it would be like it wouldn't be very transparent at all. Like you wouldn't be able to see the palm of your hand if you had like a pool of it there.
Do I know what would happen if you drank it?
It's salt water. It's not good for you.
Okay.
Could
Okay.
dehydrate.
Okay. In no other way that you know of, Lutz, is the ocean different than what our modern day ocean is.
Okay.
Except
It
that
looks
it's
different.
black.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And there seems to be stars underneath it.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
As one does.
But yes, okay. We have successfully banished the Hallow to sink to the bottom of the ocean.
fuck them.
Fun fact, Hollows are incredibly heavy. But yes, he sinks to the ocean, and you guys end up back into this chamber. Now, it's not lit up. It's not acting like it was the first time you came through here. The first time you came through here, it was pristine and beautiful and magical, and you had this moment where like you could feel like you were outside on a nice sunny day. And that just kind of happened. But after that happened, you guys returned to what it is now, where it's just like it looks like maybe someone came down here and like painted the walls or like carved it with like tools of some kind, and like just there's graffiti.
Okay.
Lindsay was here and she was a whore. It says on one wall, and then it's like right below that it's like, if you want a good time, call my dad. You know.
If you want a good time, don't call my dad. Oh,
How about the
Okay.
mom? She got it going on?
depends. Depends on the mom.
I don't know. Depends whose mom you're talking about. But yeah, no, you guys are here now. Basically, at this point, I want you guys to tell me how any of you or how you work together to like maybe see what you can do with this space.
Do I feel confident that this is the right place?
Yes, you are 100% certain.
I mean, this is the place.
It's very unique because
sorry, go ahead.
it's big and it's unique. It's big. It's open. You know, like there is graffiti, but like also like this is like a 35-foot tall room, like, and it's like a dome shape. With like there's 4 entrances pointing directly northeast, south, and west, according to like a compass.
Okay. All right. I mean, this is definitely the place. This is where it happened. It's not happening now. Is there any? I don't know how boats work. Can you like pull over? Who's driving?
We can get closer to the wall if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, is there like the water and then there's like kind of like sidewalks or something on the side?
That's kind of what I was envisioning. Is that there?
You know, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, yeah, I had the exact same thing. I think we have the same thing in our minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, and it
let's
makes sense,
pull
right?
over.
There's graffiti in
Yeah,
here. They probably had to stand.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been on this standing on a boat.
Yeah, I've
doing
seen
it.
some crazy graffiti in weird places.
Weird
Don't
places.
doubt human ingenuity to get graffiti
Yeah.
somewhere.
But you guys row it over. You have like these big gondolier oars that you're using. A lot of people in Duskfall are very familiar with using them, like especially if you're from here. Because at some point you would row a boat to get from one part of the city to
Oh, yeah.
another. So you pull over. You know that one of you's gonna have to stay behind and kind of hold the ship in place with an oar while standing on the side, but the rest of you can kind of explore around.
I think Ludes should
And-
attune, so he's got to do stuff.
I got a feeling about this place. I got to take a look around. You know, I gotta do my thing. Maybe I can get to the bottom of this. Not the water. I don't want to get to the bottom of the water. But you know, there's some weird carvings on here. I gotta take a closer look. So I'm gonna get out. So he like starts climbing out of the boat and like it rocks like heavily because he's not being careful about getting out. So, oh, sorry about that. Let me take a look here. Let me see what I can find out. It's gonna look, if it looks like I fell down, I fell down. But don't worry about it. It's gonna happen. All right.
Alright.
Here we go.
We're gonna do this like a gather information roll. Anyone who wants to make a roll here to learn some information, tell me what it is and what you're doing, and we'll go from there. But there's no it's controlled for standard effect. Here, you guys are not in immediate danger.
Bless you.
Okay.
It looks like he's taking a nap.
Oh,
He kind of slumps over and like kind of bonks his head on the wall a little bit, and then like hits the ground, and he's laying on this like sidewalk thing, and his one hand falls off the side into the water. So his like one arm is like dangling in the water. I got a fiver.
a fiver. Oh yes. Oh, okay. Sorry, on the roll.
On the roll.
Yes.
Sorry, I rolled a
$5
tune and I got
for
a
ya.
5.
I was trying to figure out what you're
Bribing
talking
you.
about.
I got a lot of
I don't know why
fiber.
I missed it. But yes. So your body like sinks below, but you're kind of living and like feeling on the ghost field.
Oh yeah.
As your heartbeat slows down, you just have a few moments here before you know that you'll actually pass. But you can see like thousands of spirits here. But like normally when there's that many spirits in one spot, you would feel it. Like just even walking around, like an average person would feel it, and you don't hear. And you see them like kind of moving across the ceiling, and they're floating around, and you see like in the center of the dome, there's like an Irish shape.
An Irish shape?
Yeah, like kind of like it looks like it, like there's like a mechanism like where it would open like a camera.
Iris.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm like, oh, like an eye, and I'm like, wait, did you say iris or Irish? I'm like,
I heard Irish. I was thinking
Iris.
like a Celtic knot. Like what do we?
No.
I believe it'd be a four-leaf
No.
clover.
Yeah, that's
A four-leaf clover stares at you and winks.
that's your
But you
Irish accent
see
is
that there.
awful. Oh man. So, but yeah, okay. Iris makes way more sense. So okay, so like an aperture. Okay.
Yes, like an aperture. So you do see that, and you see like maybe echoes of like people like touching different parts of the wall,
Okay.
and then moving away as if but they move like straight across the water,
Okay.
like as if they don't think it's there.
Okay. That's probably about all I get before I come back.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Is anybody doing anything while
Yeah,
this happens?
oh, sorry, go ahead, CJ.
I was gonna ask if I could do a study roll to like get like a. Because you said there were carvings. I don't know if there was like, if there's carvings other than graffiti. If I can like tell if like this is like, this place is older than the other places. What's up with that? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me that study roll.
Study Controlled standard. Hello.
Nice.
And that's a full
I
success.
do it.
Yes, you do parse out exactly that. Like there is a ton of graffiti here, and when you weren't looking at it closely before, it all looks like graffiti. But some of it is definitely older than others, and you realize it's not necessarily graffiti. It looks like there's like a sign, and it's just like a flat wall. But you see a sign there that just says Liberarium.
Is it like a
Like it's
double
like-
library?
It's like Latin.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like it says library in like old
Old-timey. Okay.
Duskfall, like the old language. Which like you learn at Charter Hall, like it's something that they verse you in
Mhm.
because it's easier to do certain arcane activities in that language. It just translates better.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see that for sure. You actually see that there's probably about like 8 of them, like of these like signs. And you also see that there are like scratches on the wall where it looks like someone's like, not even scratches. Has anyone ever rubbed a statue or seen like a statue that like people rub for some reason?
Sure.
Oh.
And like it's all brass
Yeah.
and it's kind of like
But,
dark,
like-
and then there's like one
Where
shiny
it's
bit.
like, it
Like-
looks
So like the
it's
dogs that
shiny
always have
gold,
like a shiny nose.
like on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like on
Yeah,
the junk
and-
of somebody
yeah.
or something. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so kind of to the right and at like at about doorknob level, like for height purposes, there's not a doorknob there. You do see a couple of these bald spots like by the signs. it's still been a long time since anyone's used it. It's not that shiny, but like it's less worn than the rest of the wall around it. And yeah, is anyone else doing anything to gather information, or are we good with that information?
I'm like, that's probably good. But I actually had like an idea of something I wanted to try out. So I want to pray. So I think that Vey would kind of be back in this spot and not having that vision come in. And he would maybe still on the boat, but just kind of get on his knees. And although you might think it's a tune, I think that they might go in and try to use sway as far as that. So I think you just kind of sit down and just like,
Okay.
like you promised this thing to me, and like I'm back and I'm here to do this, and like just I'm here to serve. So like give me my what's coming to me, and just that whole very rationalizing, demanding of things.
No worries. Yeah, go ahead and make your sway roll. I'll say that anyone else who would like to pray can give him an additional die.
I'm busy being unconscious.
Yeah, you're busy being unconscious. You're studying the walls. Albatross may not be a praying man, but that's okay.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then go ahead and give us that roll there, Ethan.
Okay. It's a
Yeah.
6.
Get it.
Do it. You start are you saying it aloud or are you thinking it?
He's mumbling. He's kind of, part of it is quiet, but then he kind of gets back into mumbling as like he gets more intense about asking for things. It's almost like a child.
Okay. Yeah, so you're making petulant demands of a deity you've never even met. To be fair, most people don't meet their deities.
I want a
Many are
pony
demanding,
god.
Yeah. Here's my pony.
But yes, you
My God.
you're making this prayer, and yeah, like you feel it, like you feel the warmth, and like you start to have a moment where you're like having a seizure
Oh.
there, Vey. And your eyes roll back into your head, and you're there, and the sun's there, and beneath a willow tree there is a like shadowy figure.
That's dope.
You wish to make a wish? Something I can do for you.
I never thought I'd get this far.
Oh shit, God picked up.
Yeah. I want to bask in the warmth of your sun.
And stay away from the shadow. And the tree like kind of like moves in the wind, and the shadows like reach out towards you.
Am I able to run? Would turn and run in fear from
Yeah,
the
you can
shadows?
just step back. You don't need.
Yeah.
The shadows like just, they don't like reach out towards you like violently. It's just like they move closer and they grow, and like they almost touch your feet, as if like teasing that they might go and get you.
Oh, okay.
It's almost playful.
I think that would also be enough though to pull him out. Maybe. Very cool.
Yeah. You have that moment, and you kind of come back. Your nose is bleeding and your throat is burning. Like where that burn is, you can like feel like it's just, it hurts.
Gotta deal with that soon.
But yes, you had that moment. You actually spoke to somebody.
Very cool. When Vey gets his composure a little bit, he'd be like, it's here. It's definitely here. I saw it. I swear I saw it. We
Oh
need to-
shit.
Albatross would pass him would pass him a rag and say, "What's here?"
The soul, the sun, the light. It's all here. I don't know how, but we need to stay out of the shadow.
It's
Everybody's just fucking waking up.
Yeah.
Up at the top. Oh my god. And then he goes to put his hand on his face. He's like, I'm wet. Holy shit. What? Do you guys see? Look up. I'm gonna point up at where the aperture was. Is it there? Or no?
Now that you're pointing it out, those and you're maybe shining lights upwards because it's pitch black.
I got my dark sight
beyond
goggles.
the lanterns that you carry. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, like you have like that night vision, and like you guys are carrying lanterns, and you aim them upwards, and you look up. Yeah, you can see very faintly. There's like these lines, like they're like if you weren't looking because it's 30 feet up in the air in a pitch black room, you might not have seen them. But you can see that there's like a shape of like an aperture on the ceiling.
They're here. There's a lot of them. There's a hell of a lot of ghosts here, but they're not. I don't feel them normally. I mean, you know what it's like when you got a bunch of ghosts all over the place. It feels all kind of.
I think we're all quite familiar with the ghosts all over the place.
Well, they're here. I don't, but I don't feel them. But they're here. They're everywhere. There's lots of them on the ceiling and everywhere. I don't feel them. Normally, you can feel them. Like they touch you. You know, with the fucking ghost hands. It's rude.
Grabbing onto Spirit Bane charm. Albatross would say, I hope not.
I don't know what you're talking about, but they're here, I swear. I mean, they... I don't know. How long was I gone?
I'd say about a few minutes.
Ugh. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna get back in the boat. Yeah, you guys do whatever. I'm just gonna lay down on the boat for a little bit. I need a rest.
Yeah. So Ludes takes a lay down on the boat.
Yeah.
What are the other three doing? Like, are you guys going to continue to hang around here for a bit?
Okay, what else do we want to get? We got a vision. We got lay of land. We know there's a shit ton of ghosts. But there's not. There is and there isn't.
Basically, my question is...
Huh?
My question to you is I'll word it like this. Is there anything you feel like because you guys have a little bit of opportunity here to gather information about this location
Okay.
before I do something to you?
Okay.
That doesn't sound ominous.
So you mentioned like the bald spots with like having rubbings happened. Are you able to like, could we like check that out a little deeper and kind of understand like what you meant by that?
Yeah, absolutely. You maybe Vay spends some time running his hand along the walls after Myri points out these bald spots, and the two of you are maybe working together to see if they mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you feel like when you touch the bald spot, the stone it shifts in just like a little bit, but it's stuck.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you guys can attempt to find a way to locate the door itself, or sorry, it's a secret door.
I'm like, this is so an Indiana Jones thing of it's like, like it's the wrong length.
But yes, the mechanism for what you presume would be like some sort of hidden door is not quite working.
Okay. So can I do another study roll to try to figure out what this mechanism is?
Yes, you could do a study to find out what the mechanism is. If you would like to activate it, you could just go for a tinker.
Oh, okay.
And would I be able to assist with that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ludes is in the boat. He's making sure that it doesn't get too far away. So.
Kind of.
I super don't trust that, but that's all right.
No, neither would I. Good call.
Starts drifting away with the boat. It's like, oh.
I keep my
but
feet
yeah,
above my head for a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a tinker roll. And I'll give you a devil's bargain with it. The devil's bargain is that the door will open, but you will not be able to close it.
Oh, that doesn't. Take it. That sounds great.
I would no. If I'm getting assistance, that's 3 dice. I think I can get good enough with that.
All right. No devil's bargain. Take your 3 dice.
Oh,
no.
really?
Oh no!
You should have
Should've
taken the
I
devil's
should've.
bargain.
Damn.
Always accept anything the devil offers you. Always.
Exactly. So you do actually start to figure out what's going on here, and what it is it's been a long time since it's been used. You need more force. You go to like maybe use some tinkering tools to like kind of clear out the space around it from like built up debris and like oxidization and stuff like that. Maybe some brine. It's calcified or something. And so you're working on that. And Myri, you fall unconscious and you fall into the water.
Okay. They said
2 consequences.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
Yeah, like just something overwhelms you and you just fall unconscious and you fall into the water. I'm going to give you the opportunity to resist if you would like either of those consequences. That being said, I'm not going to kill
I know.
you right now.
I've heard that before.
I've been just taking because I have conscious friends who will ideally pull me out of the water. So.
Myra, you fall into the water, and while your body is unconscious, your mind is awake, and you are in like a building. And you walk around the room. It looks like the same shape of the room that you were in. But there's windows and doors and people walking around. And you can see the sun shining through these like intricate stained glass windows.
Okay. Can I interact with the space?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm encouraging you to interact with the
okay.
space. Sorry, I should have said that.
I guess she'd go to one of these windows.
Yeah, you go through, and this window has like it's a lot of purples and blues. It's like a depiction, as the light shines through it, of like a midsummer's day, and you see images of what look like very thin people, like figures or effigies of people in the stained glass shining through, and it's like all different colors, and it's like you're seeing colors that maybe you haven't seen before.
Orange.
Shrimp colors.
Lello, all the classics.
Everything's
Yes.
a pesto.
Yeah, like I think you're just seeing shades of colors. Like you probably would know what red is, you would know what yellow is, and all that. But like you might not have seen this shade of yellow ever.
Cerulean.
Yeah, periwinkle.
Taupe.
You just instinctually know. And when you look outside, it's the sea. But you see like a star, like shining its light through.
Okay.
And you see the people walking around. They're silent. They're speaking with each other and they're moving, but they're not making noise. It's like maybe every once in a while you can kind of hear, if you move close enough to them, it's like they're speaking to you through water. So you're really hard to make out what they're saying.
Yeah, that was gonna be the next thing, is try to look at these people. Like, are they all dressed the same way? Like, is this like a...
Some of them are. They're wearing white smocks, pristine white smocks with golden trim. And some of them are not. They look like impoverished farmers, but not like the farmers of your day. Maybe you've read images in history books of serfs.
They're surfers, bro.
Who used to work the fields in communities called lordships.
Okay.
They're wearing very tattered clothes. And you see, different scenes playing out, and it's like it's all happening at once, even though it's almost like at times they overlap. Like they're doing two things that wouldn't necessarily make sense to happen at the same time in the same place.
Okay.
This is like a church, right? Or yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I would say I would say it looks a lot like a cathedral. And yeah, I think after a certain point, we're gonna go back to the others, but you're still here, Mary.
Okay.
Yeah, so Ludes is sleeping in the boat, or he's resting his eyes in the boat.
His eyes are
and,
awake. He just got his feet
Albatross,
up over his head. He's trying to, come back from it all. I'm
yeah, he's trying to catch his
I'm
breath.
trying not to pass out. It's been a long day. But Ludes is awake.
Yes.
I might be asleep. He's awake.
Yeah, Albatross.
Vey and Albatross and Vey, you would have heard that, you would have seen that. Myri was tinkering with this thing, and she just fell straight back into the water, and you can't see her.
So, am I able to do? I don't know if it's like a flashback or that, but like, I'm like, could I have done a flashback in order to make sure that there was proper boating safety equipment with the gondoliers that we have rented? So there would be.
Yeah, you have access to your loadout during this time. So yeah, you have some sort of equipment. What were you thinking?
I was going to be like a throw rope, basically. So something that takes like all of 1 second to grab a rope in order to like have it connected to the boat.
You can have it for free.
Cool.
You can have it for free. Yeah.
So yeah, upon hearing the splash, they would turn over, take like a quick step onto the boat, grabbing the throw rope itself. Maybe, and then just hopping in over top with quick, like, hey, Ludes, you're gonna have to pull us back up real quick, and just
I can do that. Hey, hold on. And he's gonna sit up. He's like, yeah, just give me the thing. I'll pull on it.
Very chill.
And
What's going on?
Ethan, or Vey,
You're going forward, fill up the boat.
Vey dives under the water and is all of a sudden stumbling on a floor, on a lovely marble floor. And you see this scene as laid out to Myri as well, and you see Myri like maybe inspecting one of these spirits, or it's not really a spirit. It looks like a person.
Mm-hmm.
And she, Myri, you see Vey kind of come stumbling in, holding a rope that just leads through the floor.
Oh shit! Vey, how'd you get here too?
It's is there talking and noise here? I'm not sure. As like far
Yes.
as
Yep. Yeah, you guys can hear each other. You
See all this?
It's a lot more. It's about as clear as the vision I had right before this. Yeah, you're we might be dying, so I think take a quick look, but we're gonna have Ludes and Albatross pull us out here real quick, because I don't know how much time we have in this kind of space.
Oh no, okay, I don't know how long. I've been in here for quite a bit. I was out. All right, let's get out then. Nope. He's over.
Real quick before doing the double tug and possibly kicking that off of, is there any looking around, or is there any obvious religious symbology or anything like that in this area? Like I'm curious as far as points of distinction, or like I don't know, like does it look really similar to the area above but newer, or is there, I don't know.
Yeah. So you see that this, I forget the word for it. I actually had it when I was thinking about it. But this is a 16-sided room, like not an octagon, but like a duo octagon.
I don't think that's right, too.
I think it is like, I think it's like a dodecagon.
Yeah,
or
something like
I forget, but or octagon.
In
I
the
forget,
comments,
but
let us know.
it's a 16-sided room. Yeah, please do. It's a 16-sided room, and so there's these 8 doors. Each wall is like about like 10 to 20 feet. Like the north, south, east, and west walls are 20 feet, and the rest are 10. And you see these stained glass windows. One of them being like the midsummer's day. There's a sunset in spring. There's like a sunrise in fall. And then there's just different stages and different seasons of the day. As you look around, and like each of them, like again, like these are vibrant, bright colors that you're not used to. And it is very bright in here, as people who have lived their lives in basically darkness. It is like difficult and like almost painful to look.
Yeah. So you mentioned these 8 doors. Did these line up to like the I'm assuming these are the same doors, they line up to like the markings above and they get through that?
They sure do, and you can read the signs here. There's a library. There is an offertory. There's a chapel. In a few other rooms. You're struggling because again, like this is written in a language that like only the very, very educated know, but some of the words are just so obvious because Akarosi is based off of this ancient language.
Okay.
It's kind of like some English words are in Latin. It's kind of like that.
What do I roll to pull him back up?
Yeah.
I think he's been down there for too long.
You don't have to roll. I'm just okay. And so yes, you have this moment, Myri and Vey like hold on to each other and you pull. And it's a bit of effort for you and Albatross, but you do pull them out as if they were just unconscious people in the water. And they gain consciousness as soon as they're up.
I feel like you guys were down there for too long.
You'd think that, but it kind of felt like not long enough. It's a whole new world down there.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there before. I've been there a bunch of times. It's if you're in there for too long, you can't come back out, and it's a delicate dance. Like dancing with a lady that's too pretty for you. You know, you want to stay, but you can't. And it's I thought you were down there for too long. I don't know. And so, are you okay? You guys, I mean, I sucked a bunch of this water out of your mouths.
Does that have to be canon? No.
I did the thing where I push on your chest and then I suck out your mouth. I think that's how it's supposed to work. I don't know, but that's what I was doing. But you're alive, so it worked.
Knowing that I was under the water, I don't think that staying there long is a good idea. Even if we do learn something, that's a bit of a risk there.
Sucked a lot of water out of your nose too. It's just
I don't need the imagery.
Ugh. Hey, I'm glad you guys made it back out of there. You know, it's cold in there.
It was disturbing to watch.
People cold down there.
Yeah, and from just for the audience at home, and so you guys understand, for those who didn't go under the water, you just saw them, and like as soon as their bodies hit the water, as you would expect, especially a Leviathan hunter, you've seen people fall in the sea before.
There's no Leviathan
The
hunters.
second they fall under,
Oh, it's
Pardon?
Ludes, not Storm.
oh right, yeah, no, sorry, that's right. I forget. Ludes is not a Leviathan hunter. He's just a weirdo.
Yeah, that's it.
But
Professional weirdo.
yeah, but yeah, as soon as they like broke through the water, you could not see them anymore. So like that's just something like where it's like the water is too dark. Like it's not like you saw them sinking.
It's almost like if it has oil in it, kind of level of viscous, or like
Yeah, like it's like inky
But
water.
it's not viscous though. It's like water.
oh,
It is water,
but it's just dark.
it's colored
Just-
like black ink.
ugh.
All right.
Well,
Well,
and just when they did come out of the water, did they have like did it look like they were like drowning, like they had?
I mean, they definitely had that moment where like their eyes open and they did the deep breath, like the,
But
for
they're not
like-
like coughing out a bunch of
Yeah.
water.
No, not
like
necessarily.
an average. amount.
I think for Vey and for Myri especially because she was under there a little longer, you do feel out of breath, like you were holding your breath that whole time.
Let me just suck on your mouth for a little bit in your nose.
No.
Kind of
Okay, fine.
pushing ludes off of him because he always gets a
He's
little
just
too
coming at you like,
close.
like you come to as his mouth is like right in your face.
I like how you disappeared for like the second you got too close.
Yeah, I got too close and
Exactly.
it just disappeared into the green. But yeah, no, his mouth is like right on your face just as you come to, and you're like, and you push him away. Yeah, I got you awake. I was worried that you weren't gonna wake back up. You were down there for a while, and it's fucking dark. I couldn't see you. I know. You told me to wait until you pulled on the rope, but I got worried.
And
No, I pulled you out. I mean, I gotta do what you gotta do, you know. I'm glad you guys are back.
I'm glad you
Oh, no,
pulled us
get
back.
outta here, man.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a different world there. And Faye would go and maybe kind of pop out some of that exposition and kind of cut to the end of it, talking about there was these signs there for the different doors, and of them, I think there's a chapel and a library, and if you ask me, trying to it didn't work the first time, but like getting into that chapel seems like a pretty good way to get a little closer, see if we can't find anything that will give us some sort of hint.
I think I can get there.
Ethan, just for shits and giggles, give me a study roll. This is not how Blades in the Dark is played, but this is how I'm going to do it for a second.
Okay, we'll just.
Because I don't know how else to divulge this information.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah!
It's a
Eh.
6.
You realize, like, kind of like you're thinking, and there was like a lot of like things where like there seems to be like cardinal directions seem to matter here.
Mm-hmm.
The library, when you turn to face it, you realize is pointing towards 6 towers, specifically in the direction of where your library is.
Weird.
Oh.
That's a coincidence. Anyway, onto this chapel hint I have.
Hey, if you point that out, I was
Nice,
just, I
but-
got let me
Use
take a
your
crack at
words.
that.
Use your
Yeah,
words.
I'm trying. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Give me just a fucking minute. I think. Let me get a crack at that door. I think I might be able to get through that. Hold on. Let me get in there. I got. And then he like starts rifling around in his like fucking his gear, and he's like, oh. and he pulls out. He's got this golden lockpick.
I love how
Okay.
all his bling is golden.
Absolutely, dude. He's
Yeah.
classy. Kinda. He's a little
Classy boy.
classy, a little trashy at the same time. It's like a
And what does this classy lad do with the golden lock?
open the door to the library.
Okay, go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay. So it's gonna be a finest roll. I got this cool thing. It says, "I am not affected by quality or tier when I bypass security measures."
Oh, you took a second special ability.
Absolutely, I did. Also, I got this thing. It's called a fine lockpick.
Oh.
Yes. You So yeah, you go ahead and make that finesse
Okay.
roll.
What kind of bonuses do I get? 7 extra dice?
Let's say controlled for
Mhm.
standard.
How many extra dice? I got these.
No.
I got these.
No, but you do. You're not affected by thing, but you have the additional tier, and so I'm gonna say this actually has great effect.
Great.
I'm gonna I'm gonna shift your effect up.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey.
baby.
You succeed.
I succeed.
This lockpick. Yeah. Using this lockpick, you almost like you're tapping or whatever. And for the purposes of this, it may not necessarily just be like a single like all the lockpick. You're maybe like shoving it in the crevices
Yeah,
of like this
I've got my
mechanism.
fine lockpick set. So whatever infiltration tools I need.
Yeah, absolutely. So you slide this thing back, and then you kind of manage to hook onto like there's like a gear or something back there that you realize that like if you just leverage it right, you can actually open and close this door.
Okay.
And the great effect is that all of the doors work this way. If you try it on another door,
Okay. So I can just get in them.
you can translate that information, and now you guys have the ability to open and close all of these doors.
Fuck yeah.
Yay.
Again.
Yeah. But when you open when you look into the door, it opens up into a room, and it smells awful.
Okay.
Because it is a lot of rotten books.
Ooh.
This is a giant library, probably as large as like if we're all looking at the Six Towers map here. If you were to go and look at the frost glass, kind of towards the northwest.
Okay.
I'm pinging it there. It's about as large as that building, which that whole district is 12 miles long.
Ooh, boy.
So this is a huge room. Like it would take you years to explore all of it.
Okay. So like
But the building itself is there's sections that are built up of like finely made finely made the cat is in the background
No,
again.
yeah.
It's the Wailing Women.
It's finely made masonry work using stones that like you would see in a lot of the older buildings in town, pre-cataclysm stone. Just because there's only so many quarries that really can get good stone within the lightning barriers these days. So there's a kind of a very distinct difference between old and new construction. But you also see like large, like intricate wooden shelves and banisters that have like rotten out and they're like wet. So like if you were to like lean against it, it would just like almost like slough off. And again, this room smells awful.
All right.
Oh, book smelling
Yeah,
bad. How
not-
could it be?
Yeah. And with that, guys, we're actually gonna take a break because I gotta go chastise my cat and refill up on some RC cola, which I found out this week. I've been doing a lot of research about RC cola
Do I
guys,
believe it?
for the show and for myself. Is actually owned by Dr. Pepper.
Get the fuck out of here. Really?
I'm not even kidding. The Dr. Pepper Corporation bought out RC Cola, and that's part of the reason why it can't be in New York.
Well, so it's Pepsi.
No, it's not Pepsi.
What?
Pepsi's
No,
Dr.
so like the
Pepper, isn't it?
Pepsi, yeah, Pepsi owns Dr. Pepper, but Pepsi is like God, in that like you know like you don't ever interact with Pepsi.
Not directly.
when you're
Yeah,
buying Dr.
yeah.
Pepper. You talk to Dr. Pepper because he's a PhD.
Dr. Pepper PhD.
And the Dr. Pepper's illegitimate and unloved son, RC Cola, is like another different company within this group of companies.
Loved by at least
And I
one.
just think it's
which
all that to say, enjoy yourself a Dr. Pepper, but make that Dr. Pepper an RC Cola. And you,
a favorite Chicago staple of most pizzerias here.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. Yeah, I had no idea they had that in Canada. I thought it was like a Chicago thing, like Green River is.
Yeah, because I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, what the? Like you can't find it in Florida, you can't find it in New York. I was only able to find RC here in Chicago.
Yeah, there's I've never almost most grocery stores don't carry it either. Like you can't buy it here in Canada even. Not like back in the good old days. But yeah, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen at home, our players here, we're going to take a short break. Again, while I go yell at my cat and use the bathroom and drink RC Cola.
There you go.
See you soon.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're just coming back from a break here. My cat is being an absolute monster today. He too, like Stuart Little, is an abomination in the eyes of the Lord. Yeah, and with that being said, I just want to take a moment here. I forgot to do it at the top of the show, and I feel terrible. Sydney, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. But Sydney Fable has done most of the music for this show. I do credit any extra songs I use, but Sydney has put out a lot of good stuff. Almost all of it is available on their YouTube, which is Sydney Fable, and it's linked in the description down below. I also just wanted to do a quick little shout out again to bagofmapping.com. Now it sounds like an ad. I really do just like them and their service, and they were nice enough to give us a coupon code just for our listeners, which is Dragon's Greed. You can use that to get 25% off of your first 2-month subscription. Full transparency, we have negotiated that we're doing an affiliate, so we do get a portion of that. So that's one way to support us if you're not over on the Patreon. But if you're looking for ways to support us, as always, rate, review, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. We are getting bigger and bigger numbers every week. A lot of people listen to new stuff. A lot of people listen to the Shadowrun Pay Data podcast, and we also have a lot of people coming back in for Gallows Geist and Mork's Mad Boys are picking up.
Nice.
Yeah, which is always cool to see. So people like different games and they want to learn different things. I think this channel, it's one of my favorite things about it, is that we really get to learn a lot of different games, a lot of different systems, and tell different types of stories. So that's really exciting here. And yeah, you can always check out our Patreon. We got free, not free because it's Patreon, but at the lowest tier, you get access to art, exclusive shows. They have one called The Drowned Dragon, which is a Warhammer fantasy actual play. And then we have other shows coming out as well. You also get early access to everything. It's a great way to help out and get a little bit of extra stuff to help fill out the week. With that being said, we left you guys as you successfully managed to open this door in the remains, like the ruined remains of a cathedral of some kind. You open this door, above it written in ancient Imperium, or like is what they call it in the textbooks. It probably had a different name back in the day, but it's like the ancient language that Akarosi is based off of. It says library, and sure enough, there is a massive library here. What I didn't describe is that you guys are actually on the upper floor of this library.
Oh.
It's probably about 5 stories tall.
Oh, damn.
And there's just these grandiose stone staircases, and they're like those double-breasted ones where like they start at multiple locations and they kind of spiral in amongst each other. And so you can continue up and down stairs all the way from the top floor to the bottom floor, or stop anywhere in between as well. Right now, we have everyone here, so yes, I want to roll our engagement roll here,
Let's
guys.
get engaged.
And I will explain a little bit about what's happening here. As you guys presumably all move in and start to look at this place, one of you guys tied off the boat, so it's not going to drift away on you necessarily. But you walk in, and it's pitch black in here. You realize that even like as far as you can tell, there are no windows in here. Like not even holes for where windows would used to be. Obviously, it's always dark in Duskfall at the best of times, and you guys are underground, so it makes sense that there's not a lot of light. But you guys have your dark vision goggles. You have torches and lanterns, whatever you'd like to be carrying, but you are navigating in a bit. And you hear voices speaking off in the distance. And so we are going to take a quick look at the rules for starting a score, planning an engagement.
Ooh.
Now, you guys have some information, but not a lot. And so I am going to say that what is happening here is that you guys need to survive.
Oh boy.
I feel that way too.
General life goal.
Yes. And so we don't necessarily have to get into planning an engagement in the same way you would in a traditional score. However, what I'll say is as you guys come in, you see like dark figures with red glowing eyes. They're hollows. You recognize it from the one that fell into the boat earlier. They start piling up in front of the door, and they're blocking your exit.
Oh.
And so the score is to survive and to find your way out of here. And so we can maybe gloss over a little bit until you guys learn a bit of information and get a feel and decide what you're doing. We don't necessarily have to do the planning stage, the point of attack or the method of deception. I don't think you can deceive your way past these things.
Be fooled, library.
Well, there goes that plan.
But you guys can pick your item loadouts. How prepared did you guys come for this?
I don't think I'm prepared for this, but I picked my loadout because you had mentioned being able to earlier, so as soon as I feel like I've got the option to do it, I usually do. So I've got my dark sight goggles, my fine lockpicks, I've got my fine shadow cloak, my light climbing gear, and a spirit bane charm.
All right. Good to know. Now, that being said, most of the time you do not pick your items beforehand necessarily. You pick how many items you have and pull them out as you need them, but that's fine. So you're working with a normal load.
Light.
Or it sounds like light.
Yeah, that's
load.
3.
Okay. What about you, Ethan? How prepared was Vay for this? Do you think he brought like a normal load because he was bringing stuff on a boat, or do you think he brought like a light load?
I think Vay travels light, so I think they would only have the 3 items with them.
Yeah, I chose light too. She wasn't planning for big explosions, so.
No worries. Now that being said, you can always flashbacks are a thing here. If you ever need to pull something out your ass, you can. Perhaps literally. What about you, Albatross? What's your loadout looking like?
Albatross came a little heavier than usual. He came more for a scuffle than anything.
Okay, he came prepared to fight.
Yeah, he has specifically given that his armored plating is now showing. He came fully dressed with basically armored gear that would help him be protected during a fight. In addition to the arm that he has this time. Looks a lot more threatening than the other one he had when he was first introduced, or better yet, more like the one he came through when he introduced himself versus the one he had on the roof. This is more of a hand-to-hand weapon, something that he could use to really just gouge anything out.
Okay. So you're saying you're carrying like a medium or a heavy load even?
It would be like a medium load.
Okay, you're carrying a regular load, I guess is the word. Just a regular load. All right, guys. So before we roll our engagement, does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability? No. You guys don't have a plan. Surprise.
Yeah.
I won't give you the -1d though, because they also weren't. They're also surprised. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight to this operation?
I don't think so.
No.
God.
Are any enemies or rival interfering in the operation? Take -1d. Go ahead and take that -1.
Oh. Ooh,
Are there any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target, blah blah. Yes. So that one is going to be a +1d. That other element is something that I have knowledge of, and you guys don't at this time. But yeah, so we're actually just making a so that's 1 die. Roll 1 die for your engagement roll, and we'll see how it starts.
All right. Do we want to roll low or high?
Hi.
You want to roll high. A 6 is a success.
Okay,
You
so
start
it's
in a
regular.
control
Okay, so
position.
CJ, don't do it.
No.
Let's get anybody other than CJ.
Here, I've got it up. I'll just hit roll, and I'll
Yeah, do it.
apologize later.
Yeah. All right.
It's a
Yo,
2.
apologize right now.
You know what, guys?
Oh no.
This makes
I was
total
gonna say it does make sense.
Oh no.
As you guys walk in, these bodies start dropping, and it's just like you're walking, and all of a sudden it's like boom, boom, and at first it's body hitting stone, and then it's body hitting flesh.
Ew.
And you look to the door, and you point the thing towards that, and it's just like probably 30 or 40
jeez.
of these
Akira
bodies.
flesh
Um,
mess.
And you point it up, and you see that the ceiling is like a bat's nest of hollows.
Oh,
no.
why?
And they slowly, sluggishly like wake up, and you guys start in a desperate position. It's raining men,
Hallelujah.
and you are on the 5th floor.
Oh.
And yeah, so these bodies are starting to fall, and one of them falls and almost crushes Vay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I want to survey the area and see if I can find a route. These guys are. I'm sorry. I'm like. I'm fading in and out because of the the thing.
The tiredness,
That's the one. These guys are. We're into the library. These guys are falling from outside the library. Is that correct?
Like at the doorway.
No, they're falling from the ceiling.
Inside the library.
So at
Okay.
first there was like a lot of them
Yeah.
falling very rapidly and like blocking the door.
Okay. Excuse me. I want to try to survey the area and look for. Hey, they're blocking the door. I want to survey for a way out.
Okay.
So I'm desperate.
Yes, this is a desperate roll. For standard
here we go.
effect.
Nope.
Oh,
3.
so
Oh
close.
no.
You're trying to find your way there, Lutz, and you just this room is too massive.
Yeah.
Without really exploring it, like you at this point in time, are you fighting your way through the door, or are you going further into the library? You lose this opportunity to know what you're doing.
So Ludes looks around and he's looking for a good way out, and he's like, yeah, that door, there's too many of them. We can't deal with that many. I'm not a fighter. There's gotta be another way out of here. There's gotta be another way out. And, he's just gonna start running off into the darkness.
And a serious complication occurs. Okay, so
Of course it does.
but I'm gonna take it down a step. Okay, don't worry, you're not blowing up any districts today. Yeah, you go to move, and one of these bodies like finally just it grabs your ankle as you're running and you get
Oh
caught.
shit.
And yeah, that's where we'll leave you with your action. The other three of you all connect and do whatever you'd like to do.
Can I roll to skirmish and cut the thing's arm off?
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't like if that's what you want to use skirmish, yeah. If that's the action, I'll say that it's desperate still. For standard effect. If you want to cut his arm off, I'm saying you can cut his arm.
So a risky standard?
Yeah, you have a fine weapon, right?
Fine weapon, you said?
Well, like what's the item that you're using that is your arm?
An unusual weapon.
An unusual weapon. Okay. Unfortunately, this is a tier 0 weapon. Because you guys are tier 0. And so I'm gonna say it's limited effect actually. These things, these hollows, their skin is harder than an average person's. It's like reinforced
What the fuck?
like skin.
Hey!
Good roll.
Nice.
All right. Okay, so you do it. You don't cut all the way through the arm. You hack at it and you like manage to rip through like the muscle and the bone even on the arm, and you pull the sword out, but it Ludes manages to like slip out of its grasp, and as it tries to move and like it tries to use its arm to support itself, it gives out underneath it and falls back to the floor.
And then Albatross is gonna yell, "Everybody move!"
Yes. And so, unless you say otherwise, you start running down these stairs. Yeah, like you guys are running down the stairs.
I guess so. Yeah, I follow with because we ain't getting out the way we came. So what I wanted to do, I don't know if this would be just a roll or if this would be a flashback, but as Myri is the resident book sniffer, I'd say she'd know her way around a library. Could I have a study roll so she would have a general idea of like where exits would normally be in these type of buildings?
Yeah, I would say that you could do that. That's I actually no. I'm gonna say that that's not a roll because there's no risk to memorizing it. You feel that Myri would be the kind of person who would know enough about infrastructure and like the way libraries are laid out that she would have an idea of where the exits are. I'll even go as far as to say you know enough about history to know that this city, that like this part of the city, is built on top of a city that sank into the ocean.
Oh.
But you think that if there were to be a tunnel, it would probably be on the bottom floor.
Okay.
That it wasn't totally uncommon, especially for like larger buildings like this owned by like monarchs and members of like their equivalent of the Vatican,
Mm-hmm.
that they would have like private tunnels that connect buildings. And so at the very least, you'll be safer than where you are.
Secret tunnel.
All right, I'm out of here.
And die. All right.
Yeah. And so with that information, go ahead and say what you would like Myri to do or say.
All right, if we're looking for a way out, I think the best bet is at the bottom.
Okay.
Down we go.
Okay. And so, yeah, as you're going again, like you hear the sounds of these falling bodies, and like your lantern shines out kind of over like the space that's just kind of like open beside you, and you see like a body fly down and just like fall all 5 floors.
They can't survive that, right?
And you make your way down. You make your way down to the 4th floor. and you see like a large section of like the bookshelves and stuff like that aren't where like you think they would be. Like they're not sitting there rotting. It looks like someone cleared out a bunch of space and started a fire here.
That's weird.
I mean, no, that's a good sign. If the Hollows aren't making fires, that means someone was in here.
Yeah, but that's good.
Because that means someone they're getting in another way. The door we opened wasn't ever opened.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe we find them, maybe we don't. We gotta keep moving because these things they're still falling from the ceiling.
Yes, yeah. I agree with that. Yes, but it's a good sign.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
And so we see this fire. You guys see that the rest of this floor, it just seems to be like shelves and shelves upon books and private study areas and stuff like that. Other than this area where like you just see like a fire pit basically. You can smell, maybe even feel or touch if you do, that it was used recently. And Vey, you get the feeling you're being watched.
It's me. It's Lutz.
Vey strikes me as the kind of guy who would like be the first to pick up on like that hair-raising feeling when you know someone's watching you.
Okay. Yeah, if that's the case, I think, Vey would realizing that someone else is in the near vicinity, Vey would just, would yell out, go like, all right, well, we got a lot of creatures coming in, and I'll tell you, 5v40 does a lot better than 1v40, so, any people here would, better together than alone. Yeah.
Are you making an action roll? Because he doesn't necessarily respond, but if you're convincing enough.
Yeah. I'm like, how would that be? Is that maybe like possibly a consort of kind of going in, trying to buddy up with whoever else is here in order to get some assistance? I guess that's more.
I think you're trying to sway.
So Vey's command. Before anything.
So, yeah, like if you're trying to order them out, then it's command. If you're trying to be like, come on,
if I can interject too as well, you're giving signs that somebody's in here with us right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, if Albatross drops everything and immediately starts to search for this person, I'm gonna scout him out. I also get a +1 effect if I'm locating a target.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Using my new ability, Scout. Let's see. So I get to scout him out. So I would use, would it be survey? No.
Hunt.
A hunt or survey. Yeah.
I would definitely use hunt. So I get the 2 for insight. It's the 2 for hunt, and then I would add the +1 modifier because of my scouts. And would this position be risky?
Yes, it is risky. I'm gonna say for. Do you have anything that would allow you to see in dark beyond, like just a lantern?
No, not that I would know of.
Okay, limited effect.
Okay.
Now you can push yourself to increase effect or give yourself die. You can be assisted, all that stuff. But let's see if you find where he goes. Do you want Devil's Bargain?
I'll take it.
If you fail, you'll get separated from the others.
Ooh.
Or no, sorry. You will get separated from the others. Either way.
All right.
So go ahead and take your +1 die.
Bye. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Vey points out that like I think there's something nearby. Albatross, you whip around,
Purely...
and you start
Oh, sorry.
You start listening. You can hear breathing. You're trying to pinpoint it with the light, but you can't quite hear it. And maybe you move quickly to kind of like see if you can find it, and you do. You see, you see like a woman, like crawling on the ceiling, like the girl from The Exorcist. Her head's like literally like spinning around like an owl's to look at you.
Oh boy.
Hi.
And she drops, and when she does, the floor gives out, and the two of you fall to the next floor down.
Oh shit!
That's not good.
I found our friend.
But you're okay, and you found her. And not only that, she's also like not necessarily prepared to fall down like an entire floor. And so like she's currently like prone and like not necessarily like about to attack you like this immediate second. Before we go to that moment, you all just saw that happen. What do you guys do?
Oh man. Oh man.
To get the safe way down, I ain't jumping down the hole.
I gotta jump down there. I gotta get down there and make sure he's okay. I'm gonna finesse jump.
Okay, you're gonna make an acrobatic maneuver
Yeah.
with finesse to go down
Yeah,
there.
What do we got?
Okay.
The cat is the cat is so loud.
The cat is a monster.
The cat's
A
so
monster.
loud. Oh my god.
Like I love that cat, but no. I
That cat.
So this is a desperate maneuver.
All right.
I think, but for great effect.
Oh yeah, let's get great.
Hey,
If you nail it, you nail it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, that's
Critical
ever.
success!
Critical.
Oh
Ludes.
yes!
Not only do you make it down, like you make it down in such a fantastic way that you can do something else with your action.
Oh man. He gets down there real quick, and then I'm guessing there's like rubble like that, maybe like took him down or something like that.
You guys fall, and as disgusting as this is, into a pile of decomposing books, and like they're just soft enough that it's like a mattress.
Okay. So I get down there and start immediately, flinging stuff off of these guys to get them free from whatever kind of debris is on them, and it's like holy shit! I saw that fall out on you. You guys are okay? I got down here as fast as I could.
Yeah. Albatross, you would have seen it, this woman that was climbing on the ceiling also fell down and is kind of behind you guys. Ludes manages to get you guys moving, so you guys get a head start. As you guys move, where are Myri and Vago?
Oh, I think Vay would be looking down into the hole and from the crack's edge, and maybe kind of look over Myra and go, you want to take the stairs?
That sounds perfectly good with me.
Yeah.
Where's the elevator?
You guys take the stairs, and as you do, you realize that like these stairs don't connect like to where they fell.
Yeah.
They lead down, but they lead like almost like across in like a semicircle to like the western side if they're on the south side of like this massive church. And so as you run down the stairs, you find yourselves also like separated from the other two.
We'll be up against fine.
Yeah, you guys could probably yell at each other at the top of your lungs if you wanted to.
I do.
To communicate. But yeah, like you guys are not close together right now.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys are going across, these bodies are falling, and they're falling more and more rapidly.
Jeez.
Like it's like a storm is picking up.
Dude storm.
I want you guys to make an action roll to see if you get hit by one of these bodies as they fall.
All of us?
Like as the yeah, like you guys need to protect
Okay.
yourselves as you're going down the stairs. Like this is getting dangerous. Like 200-pound men are falling from the ceiling,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
hundreds of feet.
Like getting bombarded by like blanket missiles essentially, except they're big hollows that are just ready to crush us at any moment.
Are all of them like those faceless, thick-skinned creeps?
They are.
Ugh, I hate them. I hate them. Tell them I hate them.
Yes. I will tell them.
All right. So you mean like just like roll like a prowl or something?
Well, like so basically my thing is one of you guys are in danger of like pretty severe bodily harm. You guys have to run down this length of stairs as these bodies are falling without protection from like the ceiling above as you get from one floor to the other. Because like for instance, where Bay and Albatross or where Ludes and Albatross are, there's a ceiling above them. The bodies aren't falling
Okay, I see
directly
what you're
on.
saying.
And so yeah, like what's the cool way you guys navigate this scenario so that things go well for you?
Well, we're both thinkers. Is it?
Just gonna hang out and think.
As we both sit here going, but our characters are both thinkers. So
Everybody's
maybe-
just
Yes.
Decision paralysis.
I would say there's a lot of
I could do
you know, yeah, study, right? Looking
study.
up. Going,
I really
what's
think we
coming
both
down
like
and-
study. If like
Yeah. Guys, why don't we do a study group action?
I've
study
heard of this.
group.
Let's set up the slow jazz.
Ugh.
Yeah, so you guys both roll study. This is risky for standard effect.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay, minor.
Oh,
Oh.
really bad.
this is not good.
Guys, you're trying to bob and weave in like the timing of like these bodies because you realize there is a pattern to how quickly they fall. One of you volunteer.
Sure.
I'll do it. Oh.
I was
Ethan,
first.
Okay. The body falls right on you, and it pins you to the floor, and your head cracks against the stairs as you begin to slip down with this thing on top.
Can you resist?
Take a level 1 harm
Can you resist?
called mildly concussed.
Yeah. I think I do want to resist that.
Yeah, see, of course you can resist. Yeah, you can totally resist, and you can pop armor, things like that. I always set the consequences so that you know what you're resisting. The other thing is like, yeah, you're just gonna take the level 1 harm, and you're going the direction you want to go anyways. With this thing on top of you, you're now in a desperate position.
Continuing to slide down the staircase.
Yeah, so there's 2
like-
consequences there. You're in a desperate position, or you take the harm.
I just imagine this creature take over and just like just like
Right. So actually, quick question. I realized with harm, I still have a toothache. Does that stack?
Yes, you still have a level 1 harm.
Okay, so I can take 2
No,
level
so it doesn't
ones.
stack. Yeah, if you take 2 level 1 harms, it's no different than having 1 level 1 harm, except that if I give you another level 1 harm, it becomes a level 2 harm.
Got it. Okay. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the concussion because.
Okay.
Well, that's just gonna happen, and even though that's Faye's bread and butter, so be it. And then I will resist being in the position, and so
Okay,
I'll do the
so,
roll and then talk
m-
through. Yeah.
Yeah, how are you doing it so we know which type of resistance roll you're making? Is this like a prowess thing? Like you're gonna wrestle it? Is it like a...
I think so. Yeah, I think being pinned down, this is just they trying to escape from it as
Okay.
much as possible by just moving.
Yeah, so you hit your head, but on instinct you push off of it, and you maybe throw it off the side of the stairway.
Mm-hmm. So do I roll prowess? or
Yes, roll. Well, so you automatically succeed. You take 6 stress minus your prowess
that's
roll.
it? Okay.
That's why I described it first. 'Cause,
Oh.
Or stress.
Oh boy.
suffer 4 stress. That ain't so bad. We'll live forever. But yes, Myri and Vey. Myri, you are getting slowed down. By Vey kind of fell ahead of you, but you're getting slowed down as these bodies, like, they're starting to pile up and you're having to climb over them. As awkward as and uncomfortable as that is, they're very slow moving.
Okay.
So it's not like as long as you're kind
Not
of
a
paying
scuttling
attention
zombie type
and you're moving
situation.
quickly. Yes. Yeah, much slower than even like a walker from The Walking Dead. At this point. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tick up a clock there,
Oh, boy.
Myri, as
Love
well.
clocks.
And what that clock is called Overwhelmed.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's gonna be a 6-segment clock. And we're gonna check off 1 box of it.
No pressure.
Now you can resist that if you'd like.
I think it's fine for now.
Okay, no worries. I just want to make sure you have the
Okay.
option out there. So we go to Albatross and Ludwig on the other side, separated from the others. You can see a clear path to a set of stairs. You can see that there's a lot of like open space. This floor, it looks like someone has set up some kind of workshop in here, where you guys are. You would recognize it, like, looks a lot like Myri's, but maybe bigger, with nicer stuff.
Oof.
But you also have this, I'll just say it, vampire, in the crawling out of these books behind you.
As they do.
What?
It's the same thing that we were dealing with before.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry that
it's
I
still
opened
alive.
this door.
He
Oh my
So wait.
god.
So
could
it's
have
not
been
just
in the chapel.
so it's not just a creature that was behind us. It's now a vampire coming out of it.
No. The vampire, like the woman that was crawling on the ceiling, like the girl from The Exorcist, oddly enough, isn't a human. Is actually a vampire, and she is like basically the circumstance the Devil's Bargain gave you is that you and this thing were alone, but Ludes decided to use his action to join into the fray as well. So the two of you are now like being chased by a vampire.
All right. I got nothing. Well, that's not good. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here now. I hope there's something on the ground level. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go.
Okay. I mean, make an action roll. The risk here is that you're being chased by a vampire. If you're trying to run away, if you're going to stand and fight it, whatever you're doing, just let me know and what you would like to
I got
roll.
no way to fight this thing. I'm trying to get out of there. I think I'm trying to go fast rather than sneaky. So I'm gonna do finesse.
Hardcore.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to sneak away from this vampire because I don't know how vampires work in this. So I'm
Yeah,
just
like
gonna
how common are vampires? Like what do we know? Like maybe the benchmark.
It's one of those things where it's half folklore, half knowledge. In that, like, most people have never met a vampire. There are people who do not believe that vampires exist, but most people are aware that it's something that's possible. But that the spirit wardens actively hunt vampires and they despise them more than they hate, like, most other spirit crimes.
Okay, yeah, I don't feel like I'd be able to hide from one. So I'm gonna try to run.
Okay. And Albatross, before he makes that roll, what are you doing?
Shit.
Just in case it's the same thing, and then you guys might do a group action.
Well, part of me was considering hiding, but
I didn't say it wasn't an option.
I said it wasn't.
Adam
an
said it
option.
wasn't an option. So if you think Albatross would try to hide, I can definitely tell you what the position and effect of that would be.
I love this whole like Luz jumping in, being like, "Here, I'll help you out," and then going like, "Oh
Oh
shit!"
shit.
and then just
Bad choice.
booking it.
Bad choice.
No, no. Never mind.
okay. So Albatross would do this. This is the idea for him. He would still have some of the blood and gunk from the hollow that he had cut through, right?
Sure. Yeah, you got. Yeah. Their blood is very, very thick, so it's not like it's sprayed on you, but there might be some on the blade still.
To get an advantage in this situation, what he would do is Okay, so with Scout I get a +1 to camouflage, and I also have
Okay. I guess my question to you is you are not running away with Luz, like that because I'm gotta set things appropriately.
kind of sort of.
So I'm gonna.
I would start running away, but use that as a cover to try to hide.
So you're trying to hide.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to hide. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. But Lud says he's like sprinting. He's making a run for it. So we're going to resolve his action first, and then we'll go to Albatross.
Okay.
Lud's, what would you like to do?
I'm running. I'm using finesse to try to get down to the ground level as quickly as I can. So whether that's like climbing stuff or like vaulting over handrails to get downstairs faster.
Yeah. You're doing parkour over these like dilapidated bookshelves and whatever else. Maybe you're sliding down the
I'm
banister
totally sliding
of
across
the stairs.
He's totally sliding across a table and like knocking books down as he's doing it. So there's like pages flapping in the air as he's sliding across the table. That happens at least once.
Elementary
Nice.
schooler's
Nice.
dream.
I love it.
Oh,
So go ahead and give me that finesse roll. Add anything you would like to it. If you're gonna push yourself,
I'm like,
if you
I'll
want
add
to
3
ask for a
dice.
devil's
But
bargain.
yeah, no, I'm just going for it. What do we got? Risky, standard, desperate, control, what?
So this is risky for standard. Also, Dio, make sure that if you're using a desperate action, you're marking off XP.
5er.
Oh, marking. Okay.
Yeah. So risky. So the partial success. Yeah, you do it. You're running. You're dipping and dodging.
Dip, duck, dodge, dive, dodge,
The
dip and duck.
the risky part is that you cut yourself like on like a nail or
Oh,
something.
I'm accident.
And you leave behind it's not enough to do a harm, but you realize that you're bleeding.
Oh, great. They love that.
And you see
Vampires love that.
the woman you see the woman sniffing the air behind you, but she's looking to you, and then she looks to Dio or to Albatross. And Albatross, you're trying to camouflage yourself, to hide, to make yourself unseen.
So it was actually a different idea here. What Albatross was thinking about doing is because it's a bunch of bookshelves, correct?
Yeah, like everywhere. Like there's bookshelves. Some of them have been pushed aside for this workshop that you're by right now. But yeah, like it's rows upon rows of bookshelves.
So the idea would have been run behind Ludes, but then with his good hand, take the blood, start wiping it in different sections of the bookshelves, and start to kind of like essentially because he's good at prowling, and he's good at like hiding, camouflaging, and going into spots usually in case he gets caught whenever he's doing a sniping job. So in this situation, now that he knows he's being chased, and he thinks vampires like blood, maybe I could try to throw off its scent. So it's run, divert to like the right or the left, and start marking off like different places with blood to throw off the scent.
Okay. Okay, so now I understand what you're doing. So go ahead and make an action roll there. Tell me what you're rolling.
I'm gonna be using prowl, and then I do get a +1. It says for scout, when you hide in a prepared position or use camouflage, you get a +1d to rolls to avoid detection.
And this is for prowl. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say that this is. Well, I'm gonna say desperate. If you're gonna be using blood, specifically to lure it, wait, are you using hollow, like the hollow's blood,
Yes.
or your blood?
Hollow's blood.
Okay, okay. No, that just makes a difference. Okay, so then risky for limited effect. Adam, unfortunately, is also bleeding, and so it's kind of a where's it gonna go?
Okay, so let's see. Prowl, skirmish, and with limited +1.
Now you can push yourself for better effect if that's something you can do as
Or
well.
you can just roll a 6.
Yeah. I mean, well, so even a success is still a limited success, and so, you do roll a success, and so yeah, you do manage to prolong how long it takes for this vampire to move. It's almost like an decision paralysis. Do I chase after this yummy thing or this yummy thing? And she lets out like a shriek, and you can just like feel like your spine just like tingling. But you do manage to create distance between yourselves and the vampire for the moment. And we go to the other two. You guys are like you've crossed these stairs. I'm actually, wait a second. Mary, did I leave you in a position where you were stuck?
No.
No. Good.
Just stepping
Okay,
over
I just want to make sure
bodies.
I didn't. Yeah. So you're running over bodies, and it's taking you time. And you see that like this is happening more and more and more. And as you look down and shine the light down, you can see it's happening elsewhere as well. And you know you need to pick up the pace. Okay. But you see Vey, and maybe you help him stand up. And pull him away from this hollow that was like, or no, he pushed the hollow away. So yeah, you just help him stand up, and the two of you start running again. Over here, you see a lot of books. You maybe just glance at a shelf, and you realize that this is like a section on nautical history. Just for fun.
Gonna have to stop and read these books then.
But yeah, you definitely like you can keep going further down. You can take the stairs if you want to try something else. If there's something else you would like to do, like please, y'all let me know.
All right.
Otherwise, we'll keep running.
Do you have something, CJ? If not, I'm
I just can't think of another solution.
cool.
That
I got
would
one in the barrel.
take
then.
time. Okay.
I will. I'll use some of my loadout to say that they brought blueprints, not of the library that we're currently in, but blueprints of the area around. And so I'm hoping, now that we have entered into kind of this other area that was not previously on the map, but just kind of understanding location-wise, maybe I'd be able to study survey. I would survey this in order to understand if there are any obvious, locations where tunnels are coming in very close to where we're currently at.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys managed to continue going down. I'm gonna bring you guys all the way down to the second story there. You realize actually that the very, very bottom story is like almost like a stadium or a dome or something, like a bowl. And it's not like there's nothing in there.
Oh shit.
Except for now bodies. Like it's like a cup that's about to overfloweth of these like nude but genitalless men that are writhing in slow motion.
Oh,
We're being attacked by Ken dolls.
like together,
Yes.
like in a pile.
Yes. And
They're,
so
like,
you guys make
gyrating,
it all the
like
way
their-
down
their-
there.
Their no nuts against their no butts.
Yeah, exactly.
Weird. Do they have butts?
Not one butthole between the lot of them.
They're blue, right? In my
Yes.
head, this whole time, the echoes are blue.
No, they're flesh colored. Like, and like they're like different races of people flesh colored.
That reminds me
like-
of like Legion.
Are they like see-through a little bit?
Wait, what are they deeper?
No, like
oh,
translucent.
Translucent.
yeah.
I imagine.
Sorry, I'm that cut out.
I imagine it's just
what
like
was the word?
Trib.
just like a dude without facial details or genitals or butthole. They got nipples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks like someone took clay and like used it to seal off any orifices that a person might have had.
Do they have
Do-
nipples?
Have any of you ever played Castlevania, like any of the Castlevania games where they have like Legion, like the ball that's
Do-
covered in people?
Do they have nipples?
No,
No nipples. I'm not interested.
no nipples. Yes. But yes, you are trying to do. You got to make that study
Yeah.
roll, or that survey.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
And so
Can I?
go ahead and do
Aid?
that. Push yourself. Yes, actually you can. And so, you can assist at a cost of 1
Okay.
stress.
Done.
And so that you take an additional die there, Ethan. I got to set position and effect. This is going to be standard effect, controlled for standard effect.
All right. Come on, luck.
Yeah.
And I got a 6.
Okay, yeah. You realize as you are glancing around that on this floor, there's actually like a big tunnel that like someone looks like they blew it up like with like quarry equipment, like mining equipment. Like kind of like right by where you are. You also realize that you can like hear like lewds like maybe running and like something else screaming like way up like a floor above you.
I think Vay and Myri would just leave the other two. No.
Bye, losers. Now start yelling, right?
Yeah, peace.
Yeah, but you do manage between the blueprints and like you realize that this is a path that leads directly to Silk Shore. Like you can manage to connect it to the blueprints of the sewer and the map, the known map of the canal that you brought with you. And yeah, it connects to Silk Shore somewhere.
Where's Silk Shore on the map?
I'm looking.
On the main map, if you click on Dusk Ball maps, I
Is it
think you
in
guys
the
can.
center?
It's all the way to the west.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
I'm trying to like keep track of the different districts in my head. I do not have the map. At this
It's loading.
Where is Silk Shore? Silk Shore, I think, is here. But
Yeah, it's the west.
yeah. Okay. Anyways, yeah, you're able to look at that, but Silk Shore is pretty far west. But it's just that is where the tunnel would lead. You would know that. You would know that like once you got to where it connects to something that's on this map, you would be able to navigate it easily. So that's your standard effect. But you guys are seeing that like more of these things are standing upright and shambling towards you very, very slowly. But there is like a lot of them. Like at this point, like on the floor you're on where you guys are, there's probably like 50. You would know that there might even be like 1,000 here, like in this library
All right.
at this point.
Vay would he's gonna cup around his mouth and go like, "Hey, we got an exit path over here," and then turn over to Myri and go, you know, anything to get by us a little time.
I was just thinking. I was thinking the same thing, and I wanna. Can I start wrecking the shelves to try to make like a vague like barrier thing that'll also like allow them to kind of get through? Like,
I love it. Yeah, like something that these slow moving clumsy creatures might have more trouble than lewds or Albatross climbing, absolutely. So yeah, if you're gonna do a rec roll to do that, I actually really like that. So let's do risky for standard effect.
Okay. Oh, I can push myself too, right?
You can push yourself for a +1 die.
So,
You can ask for a devil's bargain if you want one. I'm just really mean about them. So.
so that's 2 stress.
2 stress
Yeah.
to push.
Okay,
Yep.
2 stress to push.
And Vay's there, and but he's pouring over plans
Yeah.
at this moment.
Okay. Risky standard +1. Okay. 5er.
Okay. Yeah, so the risk is that as you do it, a complication occurs. You do manage to do it, but it's not perfect. And you realize that like you're going to like if you're gonna barricade yourself here, you're gonna have to actively like fight and push them back as more and more of them kind of pile against these bookshelves that you're throwing down. But with that being said, we move to Albatross and Ludes, who are on the 3rd floor at this point in time, or Ludes is anyways. Ludes, you are running down the stairs. You hear the shrieking. You don't know where the vampire is. Like you lose sight of it.
Great. Fuck. That's terrifying. I need to get down there quicker. So here's what I got. I got light climbing gear.
Yes, you
Does it
do.
include some kind of like grappling hook type situation?
I would say that it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
Why not?
So I want to do some cool guy stuff, and I'm gonna roll. I guess it's finesse still. With my climbing gear, I want to like latch onto something and jump down, and leave
Okay.
a rope that hopefully my buddy can climb down.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and make that finesse roll. Let's see it for desperate. Let's get you some XP. It's a desperate action.
All right.
Or great effect.
Oh yeah, dude, great. Let's get great.
It's gonna be so fucking cool when you do this.
Yeah.
Partially.
4. What do I can
Okay.
I can do? What do I do? I take 2 stress and then it does what?
So you can take 2 stress to push yourself, give yourself an additional die, or to increase the effect. So like if it's limited effect, it becomes standard. If it's no effect, it becomes limited.
God damn it.
You're gonna push yourself with the extra die. Generally try to remember to do that before you make the roll.
Oh,
That's the only thing I'll say. But that totally is fine. Like
here, let's try it with the extra die in there. All right.
yeah, we'll keep the 4 rolling. So you got the partial
Oh
success.
yeah, we'll keep that.
The
We'll
good
keep
news
that.
is
Oh.
we'll keep the partial success there.
Okay.
To serious harm, serious complication, reduce effect.
For those at home, Adam rolled.
No, I don't want to reduce your effect. This is going to be a badass moment
Nice,
there.
nice.
So you're going to get into you're in a desperate position. I'm going to say that you managed to do this, and like you're grappling. Are you throwing the grappling hook and swinging, or are you like tying it somewhere and dropping like repelling?
What I imagined is that because like I would imagine that there's like railings and like around the like tiers of this thing with like an open area in the middle of it. That's what I'm imagining. So like I want him to be like running and basically like tying off like around his waist with it as he goes, and then like getting to the edge of where like these railings are and tossing the grappling hook so it latches on as he jumps off, and then
Okay, I love
going
it.
down, like kind of like rappelling except jumping like a lunatic.
Okay. So you, because it's desperate partial sex, you are being chased. Like the vampire that makes its decision, it's coming after you. That's why it was desperate. And so it leaps at the same time as you do, and it like grips onto your back, and its like nails run down the length of its back before it drops down into the pit below.
Okay.
And you take a level 2 harm, called
Back scratch fever.
And
rip to shreds.
Oh,
uh,
shreds, you
talking
say.
talking about ripping to shreds, Albatross would actually be right behind using Hunt to try to actually attack the creature as it's jumping off.
Love it.
That's fair. Yeah, so Dio, what you can do is you can do a protect action, I believe. Where is this? Take the consequence for someone else. I would say that that actually might be the thing, and so I can change the consequence to suit you being a thing. So you make the shot there, or are you stabbing it? Like, how are you attacking it? There, Dio. Because I can give you the option to take harm or resist in his place if you want to interject yourself into this consequence.
I'll take the shot and I'll push myself.
No, so Dio, the way a protect action works, so you can take the consequences for someone else. The consequence has already been set that
It'll be the
that he's can take the level 2 harm. Now you can take something like a level 2 harm or equivalent to in terms of severity of consequence and choose to resist it, or not, or just suffer it. But that's what you can do in this moment.
Oh, okay.
I thought it sounded to me like he wanted to shoot it while it's in the air, so it wouldn't be a problem later on. It's just that, like, seeing now that it's in the air.
Yeah. Narratively, we're going to depict it. However, if you want to stop loots from getting harm, then the protect is what you would do, and depending on how you describe that, I will change the consequence to suit what you're describing.
Okay, so describe the action that I want to do first. Then it could lead to consequences that could lead to an equivalent of a level 2 harm.
That you could resist if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yes, if you wanted to, because yeah, the consequence is out there. It's on the table. I'm not taking it back.
Okay.
And so, who is taking it is up to you at this point. You can choose to take it or not, and then you can give me a different action or whatever. But
I mean, it's tough because I mean, in terms of protecting, no, he would want to show he Albatross needs these people. He would try to show some sort of way of basically showing reliability, and that he is willing to risk it all to make sure that everyone is protected in this case, or to make sure that the mission goes according to plan. So he would definitely try to take the risk himself, try to take the actual injury. But what he's gonna do? What does Albatross want to do? How does he want to do this?
So employable, though. I love the reliability.
yeah, because like
I'm
Lutz
leaving a
is
5-star
jumped off
review.
and thrown a grappling hook. This is all happening in slow motion. This is Albatross stepping in to save Lutz.
Well, Albatross always had the intention of wanting to hurt this thing. It doesn't matter what you are. If you're a risk to the mission, you are a target, and therefore his intentions are basically him running low to the ground, running directly at this vampire from behind, as it is basically in bloodlust. So
Okay.
he's going to
Yeah.
essentially try to. What he's going to do is going to run towards the back of it and attempt to try to claw into it.
Okay. Absolutely. So yeah, so instead of the vampire dropping down and scratching Woods on the back before falling, the two of you and the vampire, you kind of run and like tackle, stab it, and it pulls you over the side there, Dio.
All right.
Oh boy.
And so I'm gonna put you. I'm not actually gonna give you any harm just yet. You and the vampire are having like a Balrog and Gandalf moment, where you're fighting in the air, like kind of like almost trying to scratch at each other. And you guys hit the banister, and you are in a situation where like it's holding on to you, you're holding on to it, and you're on the right side of the banister, and it's trying to pull you over the edge with it. To drop the rest of the way into that pit of hollows. And so that's your risky situation, or like that's your desperate situation that you come into as a result of taking the consequences. Now you can choose to resist that consequence if you'd like.
And resistance, just to make sure, that would be, let's see.
Yeah.
That's
Dio, can I just as a human beg you to just take this consequence?
Since you're asking so nicely.
No.
Yeah. Like I will wash your feet. All right. You want to know why? Because we turn to Ludes, who is swinging like down. He's got this rope and he's like kind of like rappelling down like a climbing master. He's just looking fucking badass as shit while he's doing it. Albatross is like in a wrestling match, like his claw in its shoulder, its claw in his, tearing at the fabric of, or the leather jacket that you're wearing. Myri and Vey are trying to set up a makeshift barricade of bookcases as they prepare to fight off like 50 of these like Kendall forms. And I don't want to make a joke of them. Like, these things are unsettling to look at. They are exactly like an uncanny valley nightmare of what it means to be a human.
Plus filled and full of scabs.
They're completely smooth.
Oh.
Like, they have perfect skin. Their skin
Perfectly
routine is
smooth.
But yes, and so in this moment, you guys are in the library of this ancient cathedral, and you are surrounded by forces of the undead, of alchemical and occult origin. What will it take to get us out of here? We will find out next week on Sins and Consequences.
Get fucked, everybody.
Yeah, fuck.
That's suspended in the midair.
Fucked by suspenseful storytelling.
Oh,
Yes.
damn it.
And yes, and so that is where we will leave it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As always, remember to check us out on Facebook and YouTube and Spreaker and all that stuff. If you're already listening to the podcast, it's more than I could ever ask for. If you want to leave a comment or anything like that, I will read them. I actually have some set aside from the last couple episodes. I was going to talk to, I was just going to call out some people that left some nice messages for us. Other than that, I hope y'all have a very good night.
Join the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord.
Come talk to us.
Watch movies with us. That too. And with all that being said, have a good night. Toodaloo. It's better.
It doesn't.